What's going on, guys? Bengal again here, coming back at you with another video. Today, a 20-year rebuild of the New York Jets. Now, I'm about to just lay into the Jets. There's no way around it. We're going to make it short and sweet, though, because I'm not going to say anything that everybody else doesn't already know. The Jets suck. They suck so bad. Let me just get that out of the way, right? They're still winless. They should have beaten the Raiders, but Greg Williams, the defensive coordinator, absolutely sold. They ran cover zero, man blitz, when the Raiders had to go 50 yards in 10 seconds or 30 seconds. It was ridiculous. They had one shot pretty much at the end zone, and the Jets had man coverage down the field against the fastest receiver in the game, in Henry Ruggs. I mean, it was just ridiculously stupid. Greg Williams got fired, and it gave me the idea, hey, let's go ahead, get back, do another 20-year rebuild of this team, the New York Jets. They need all the help they can get. There is some talent on this team, though, and we're going to be talking about that in a moment. Hit that subscribe button if you guys are not already. I'm sure this video is going to get like a lot of views, so most of you probably are not subscribed. I'm trying to hit 250K. It would support me so greatly. It's completely free to subscribe, so if you have a Google account, YouTube account, scroll down, hit that subscribe button. Love you long time. And let's go ahead and talk about this roster, because there are some really good players that can develop and be great for the future, but right now they're missing a lot of pieces. Okay, so we also didn't talk about the Jets coaching staff other than Greg Williams. Like, Adam Gase might be the worst head coach in the league by a lot. He's so bad, and it's not even just bad play calling, which he doesn't even call the plays anymore because he was so bad. It's also just decision making as a coach. Playing Mekhi Becton, your first-round draft pick, while injured, what are you doing? You're sacrificing his career potentially, because look at Robert Griffin III. I know it's a different position at quarterback, but RG3 had an incredible rookie year, was trending towards one of the better QBs in the league, exciting young player. Mike Shanahan throws him out after getting a knee injury in the playoffs. He completely blows up his knee. Boom, RG3 is never the same. You're risking that potentially. I know that's like extreme worst case scenario, but you cannot throw injured players back out there, especially when your team's garbage. You're not winning games anyway. You're just sacrificing a potential great young player's career, because you have to look at it that way. But Mekhi Becton has been very good when healthy so far for the Jets. You talk about a rookie tackle that is just too much for any defensive end to handle. He's 6'7", about 6'8". He's been as much as 380 pounds before. Right now he's carrying 364, and he moves so well in space. He is a freak athlete, and with the length that he possesses at offensive tackle with his arms, no one can get around him. The speed, the power, Becton has it all there. His best asset is as a run blocker, because when he gets that weight moving, and he's extremely athletic, great acceleration, Mekhi Becton is just too much for any defensive lineman. He's too big. He's too much of a people mover. He is going to be incredible over the course of this 20-year rebuild. Hopefully we keep him for his entire career. The rest of the offensive line kind of has to go. I do like Chris Herndon. He kind of gets suspended if he's not injured. Doesn't really stay on the field as much as I would like if you're a Jets fan. But we're going to hopefully develop him over the course of this. And then at receiver, let me go ahead and get some of these healthy guys back in here. Jamison Crowder is a decent slot option, not much more than that. He can't be the best receiver on this team for us to be successful. Of course, Denzel Mims, second-round draft pick. I want to play him quite a lot. They signed Brashad Perriman, Chris Hogan's on this team, Braxton Berrios, Josh Doxson. It's not a tremendous receiving core, clearly. And then at running back, I mean, LaMichael Pirine, Frank Gore. It's not a great backfield. Frank Gore is what, 70? He's 37. I think they had that actually flipped. I think he's 73 years old. He might still be playing when his son gets into the NFL and then retires. Frank Gore is beyond old, and he still is just going out there and doing whatever. Sam Darnold's not going to be my QB long term. He just won't be. I know there's a lot of guys that think Sam Darnold's the guy. I'm probably going to trade him, and we're going to draft Trevor Lawrence. That's just what's going to happen. Defensively, this is where things actually start to get good, because Quinnen Williams is a tremendous player. He's gotten off to a little bit of a slow start to his career, but in 4 of his last 5 games has 5 or more pressures, including 6 in the game against the Raiders. depending on when you guys are watching that. It's either this week or last week, or maybe even 2 weeks ago when this comes out. But yeah, Quinnen Williams is really, really good. Only continuing to develop. He's 22 years old. Should be a huge player. I like Nathan Shepard, but a lot of these guys have to go. I don't know what type of trades I'm going to make year one. This is 20 years, so there's a lot of time. Cornerback needs to be upgraded because Bryce Hall, Brian Poole, Bless Austin, Corey Ballantyne, not going to be able to get it done. They're not going to do enough. Javelin Guidry, though, can fly. Had a really good game against the Raiders. 96 speed almost feels low for someone that ran like 4.27, and he's a huge sprinter. Javelin Guidry, what was his 40 time? He ran 4.3 flat. 4.29 unofficial. I don't know, man. He is pretty fast. Linebacking core, got CJ Mosley, got rid of Avery Williamson, have Terrell Basham, Patrick Owasso, Jordan Jenkins, Bradley McDougald they traded for. Marcus Mays out here is probably the best player that they have right now, which isn't great. We need to get more talent on this team, but thankfully we have a lot of time to get it done. And of course, this team has still yet to win a game at 0-10, and in real life they're 0-11. So I guess we're going to go ahead and force losses, or they're 0-12. We're going to force losses to the, the Dolphins and the Raiders, and then see how the rest of the team goes, or rest of the season goes with this team. So let's go ahead and I guess get to the end of year one. This is not going to be a playoff team. I do have to load in the draft class, though. 2021 NFL Draft Bengal. You guys can download that if you'd like to use this class. But let's be honest. We're taking one guy at number 1 overall, and it's this guy. Trevor Lawrence out of Clemson. There's no other choice for me. Yeah, definitely grab the popcorn. This is going to be a long video, as I'm sure you're already aware, based on the length of the video. Chris Herndon has a breakout challenge, which I'll do that. We're going to lose to the Dolphins, and we're going to lose to the Raiders for sure. It's already been determined. I forced the losses because that's what happened in real life. Jamison Crowder also has a breakout challenge. If he got up to Superstar Dev, maybe we can work with that. But I don't think he's going to get 150 yards receiving. Marcus May is a free agent. We're going to have to bring him back. It's going to be a loss against the Raiders. But we'll see if Jamison Crowder or Chris Herndon actually did anything. No. I think that's not a huge shock. If Chris Herndon did, I'd be shocked. Yeah, of course you didn't. I don't think you can be a number 1 receiver because you're a tight end. So that's just how it is. You're not Gronk. Marcus May, though, is 27 years old. How long do we really want him? He's going to develop for 1 or 2 more years. I don't really want to give him a 4-year deal, but I think I'll settle for it. It's $7 million. He'll be a decent option in the back end. You got to remember that this team really doesn't have a whole lot of talent, so we are going to do the best we can to keep the talent that we do have. Brian Poole doesn't feel like coming back. I guess really the best thing to do is just kind of start over. We're 0-12. I'm the GM now, but we got our first win against the Seattle Seahawks. 36-31. I don't believe it. The Jaguars won another game, though, so we still have the first pick. I don't know if I want to improve the bonus on Brian Poole. We're 1-13. I did mention that it's important to keep the good players that we do have because we have a lot of holes to fix. We can't just fix it overnight. So I guess I will give him like a 3-year deal, and Brian Poole is back. But a lot of these guys just have to go. Lost to the Browns, and then probably going to lose to the Patriots as well to end the year. 37-0. Okay. Don't even be nice at all. The team would finish 1-15 with the worst offense in the NFL. Sam Darnold was viciously bad. Our defense was 31st. So not the worst, but almost. I mean, I don't even want to look at these numbers, man. They're so bad. Of course, most of these are real-life numbers. Sam Darnold was terrible. Joe Flacco was not much better. Rushing, I don't even want to talk about it. It's vicious. Is there anything I can really look to and say, hey, they had a pretty good year? Quinnen Williams sit with 6 sacks, all right. Marcus May, 3 picks. Sure. Kyler Murray wins MVP, steals it away from Mahomes. We're not going to see any Jets anywhere in here. I'm not even going to look for it. There's no point. There is no point to even look for it. So we're just going to simulate to the offseason, and we're blowing it up to start fresh, start over, and make this team eventually a Super Bowl contender. That's clearly the goal. Gerald McCoy we're not bringing back. And to be honest, I didn't even know Gerald McCoy made his way to the Jets. When did that happen? Gerald McCoy. He's a free agent. Yeah, so he never got signed by the Jets. Okay. I don't know why he's on the team. I guess this... I mean, he was... That's so weird, because he was on the team from the start. I never signed him. He was not signed in simulation. He was just there. I don't know what's going on with that, but we have a ton of money to spend in free agency. Time to bring in some guys that can be difference makers. Juju Smith-Schuster would be a difference maker. 24 years old. We need him for the future. I will give you a 6-year deal. Come to New York. Todd Gurley's here, 27 years old. Superstar development. He's a little bit expensive, but he's a decent option, and we just don't have enough talent. So I'm fine to go after some of these guys and have a huge free agent class. No one's going after Desmond King. If we can have a big free agent class where we bring in big difference makers, we could be competitive or semi-competitive as early as next year. Ashton Davis we didn't talk about, but like none of these guys have star better development. There just isn't a ton to work with right now. So a lot of these guys will not be big on the team. Avery Williamson's here. Dalvin Tomlinson's here. A lot of these guys are just never going to develop and never be on the team long term. So just kind of got to move on. Let's see if we got anybody. Tell me at least 2 or 3 guys who went after signed. Yes, we got all 3. Desmond King, great slot cornerback option and return man. Juju Smith-Schuster, a.k.a. John Smith. Used to go by that, and then he changed it. And Todd Gurley. So the offense improves. Big weapon on offense in the slot in Juju Smith-Schuster. But I guess he's going to be forced to play on the outside because Jamison Crowder is our slot guy. And then Todd Gurley as our new running back. He's not going to be a long-term option. He's 27 years old. In real life, he's injury-prone. And I know Jets fans probably worried about it, seeing how Le'Veon Bell worked out in New York. But Todd Gurley's going to be different for us. He's not a long-term option. He's a bridge to the next running back we go out and get. He's just for the next few seasons, if that. May end up trading him, as Mekhi Becton has superstar development. And then defensively, we needed something in the secondary. Desmond King's going to help out a lot. I know Brian Poole plays some nickel cornerback as well, clearly. But I don't know. Desmond King probably best suited for that role on this team. Maybe Ashton Davis is going to even play there. It depends what we're able to do in the draft, but yeah, we're going to have the #1 overall pick. And we're taking Trevor Lawrence. I'm not going to, like, sugarcoat it. I'm not going to say, oh, man, I wonder what it's going to be, blah, blah, blah. We're taking Trevor Lawrence. There's no maybe Justin Fields, Trey Lance, maybe trade down. Not going to happen. Need our QB of the future. It is not Sam Darnold. It is Trevor Lawrence, the #1 overall player in the draft. First time getting him. And this should be a very fun video as we get to see how he develops over time. Star better development. He's an 80 overall, 94 throw power, 86 deep accuracy, 87 medium, 86 short. Good throw on the run, decent speed, break sack. Trevor Lawrence is about as perfect of a quarterback prospect as you will ever find. And he could lead us to the promised land, as Justin Fields went to the Jaguars right after. And I might try and make a move, because Sam Darnold's here. There are a number of QB-needy teams. We don't need Sam Darnold anymore. We have a stud backup QB in James Morgan. So he's way cheaper, which is already valuable to me. I hate Jamison Crowder's contract, but it's just going to be how it is for right now. I mean, some of these contracts are not even worth getting rid of. No one's going to want George Fant. Terrible contract. I can't really see anyone wanting Greg Van Roten. Connor McGovern, we kind of have to keep for right now, because you just have nobody. These offensive line contracts are ridiculous for what some of these guys bring to the table. Blake Cashman's someone that actually could be good long-term for this team. We didn't really talk about the roster too much. I've done a short-term Jets rebuild before. If you guys want to watch that, it is on the channel. But a lot of these guys just aren't going to be impactful long-term, so I didn't want to waste too much time talking about them. I'm trying to move Sam Darnold right now, trying to send him to Pittsburgh. And he is. Sam Darnold in a 4th. Gets us number 27 overall from the Pittsburgh Steelers, as hopefully that helps us improve quite a bit. I'm probably not going to make too many more trades, just simulating to number 25, seeing what's on the board, and kind of working from there. Jalen Waddle is here. Travis Etienne is here. Terrace Marshall, Rashawn Slater. We could upgrade the offensive line. I almost have to go Jalen Waddle. I almost have to. I think most people are going to think of him as a slot receiver when just seeing his height and his makeup, but he is definitely an outside guy for sure, who I think could be brutally effective in the slot against opposing defenses. But this is a guy who can very easily play on the outside. Think of like an Odell Beckham Jr. type 5'10 receiver. But I don't see going anybody other than Jalen Waddle here. Ranked number 7 in the class. I'm a big Jalen Waddle guy. I think he's incredible. He might be my wide receiver number 1 above Jamar Chase. I think he's just a little bit more dynamic. Jamar Chase is a beast though, but 96 speed, 98 acceleration, good deep route running, great spectacular catch, great change of direction and agility. If you want to just go have a good time, pull up some Jalen Waddle highlights and just watch him go to work. He is so fun. Packers go with Rashawn Slater. Maybe would have been my next pick. Travis Etienne is here. The best running back in the draft, probably. But do I really want to go with him? We have a running back in Todd Gurley. We don't need to take one right now. That might be 2 or 3 years down the line. Could take Azeez Ojulari. I don't know why George is not popping up. And I think that's probably going to be the pick. He's a stud. He is so good at Georgia. Natural edge bender and a natural fit on this team. We got to get better. It's about taking best player available sometimes. And even though he necessarily isn't that, number 33, we took him at 27. He's a 72 overall with star better development. I think he's a really good player. And I think he's going to be excellent long term. We got a huge help on the edge in Azeez Ojulari as Javon Holland goes to the Saints. We are back up. Travis Etienne is still here. There's still a bunch of really good players available. Could take Najee Harris if we want to go running back. I think viewers are going to want me to take a running back here. But it just doesn't make sense to. It just doesn't make sense. We have our receiving core set for right now. Our offensive line is pretty bad. Could go tackle. And then defensively, we did just take an edge rusher. Jabari Zuniga is not a great option at left outside linebacker in this 3-4. Defensive tackle could be a move. Could be defensive tackle or linebacker. Don't pick again till round 3, but we could trade back up. Still should be about every good defensive tackle still available. And they are. So let's go with Zaven Collins maybe. I mean, classic strong side linebacker. Can rush the passer a little bit, but can also play off the ball. I think he's the best player available for me right now. It's important to beef up the offensive line, I know. Maybe we got to take Elijah Vera Tucker. I mean, Jalen Mayfield at tackle would be a really good option as well. I don't know. What's more important right now? Offensive line or linebacker? I think we have to make it a point to protect Trevor Lawrence. I'm going Elijah Vera Tucker. 73 overall. Star better development. Number 28 in the class. Took him at 33. And I think it was a really solid pick for us. Well balanced. Decent strength. I think he has the versatility to slide outside as well. I want to say he's played a little bit of offensive tackle before for the Trojans at USC. But we're going to be probably playing him at guard as Etienne goes to Miami. There goes Jalen Mayfield. Trayvon Moehrig. I think I might move back up for a defensive tackle though, so depends on where one goes. There goes Jalen Twyman, probably who I was going to take. He goes before Marvin Wilson and Jordan Davis. So is now the time to trade up and get Marvin Wilson? Okay, trading number 42 overall projected next year to second rounder. Number 89 this year and number 129 this year to move up to 42. This is our pick. We have to improve the defensive line, and we're going to be doing that with this pick in the form of... Well, Zaven Collins is still here. I know I just didn't take him. So I talked myself into defensive tackle, defensive tackle, defensive tackle, even though they are reaches, late second rounder. But we know he has great ability. You know what? I'm going to take Zaven Collins. We need an outside linebacker. Zaven Collins, welcome to the Jets. Has been a beast for Tulsa so far this year. He's super athletic for his size. He's 6'4", 260 and can play inside linebacker. Think about how ridiculous that is. Really good player. I think he was just too good to pass up. There goes another inside backer in the thumper, Nick Bolton out of Mizzou. Quincy Roche's available. Hampson to Cyril Dean could play some linebacker for us. I'm a big Darius Stills guy. He's got a brother who's okay, not quite as good. We've been having such a good draft so far, but this is really our last impactful pick. We've addressed what? Quarterback, receiver, offensive line, and then defensively, linebacker. So what do we go with this pick? We got Azeez Ojulari as well. So we have 2 outside backers now. Blake Cashman's fine on the inside. We could go defensive line, or we could go safety. Should we go with Paris Ford here out of Pitt? I really don't think that'd be a bad option for us. Could go Davion Nixon, has had an amazing season for Iowa so far this year. But let's go with the safety. Let's go Paris Ford. 70 overall, star better development. So even though he's a worse overall than Ashton Davis, might be better to start him. He's got great speed and hit power, decent cover guy, nothing crazy, but will offer a lot of physicality at free safety for us on the other side of Marcus May as we simulate to round 5, pick 7. A lot of the best players going to be off the board, but maybe we can grab a steal. Who would be a steal right around now? I mean, there are some decent players available. No one crazy. I think we might just go offensive line. I'll go Alaric Jackson out of Iowa. Probably not someone that's going to come in and start. Big reach at the spot. Good pass blocker. Doesn't really offer us a lot as a run blocker. But I think that's going to do it for the draft, as we will start season number 2. So our draft was clearly very good. I think Elijah Vera Tucker just has to go out and play right tackle. I think it has to happen just because we're so weak overall in the offensive line. And I think we do have better players on the inside in Alex Lewis and Greg Van Roten than George Fant. But Chuma Edoga, though, could play right tackle. Another USC guy. Yeah, I'm just gonna keep it how it is. Actually, no. Vera Tucker's gonna play left tackle. Alex Lewis is gonna play right guard. And then Chuma Edoga is going to be my starting right tackle. Okay, I figured it out. Ojulari's position, or his college resets, I don't know why that is. It's a draft class glitch. It's Georgia, but sometimes it'll show up as N/A, not applicable. But we are moving him to outside linebacker, where he will be a pass rusher. And I think I do want to play Paris Ford over Ashton Davis right away. Ooh, Robert Cooper. The nose tackle was drafted by the CPU. I'm fine with that. Better option than Tanzel Smart, that's for sure. So this is the team for season number 2. Trevor Lawrence, 80 overall rookie. He's got crazy development trait, I can assure you, and crazy attributes coming out. Trevor Lawrence should be a star, and we've paired him with some pretty good weapons. Juju Smith-Schuster, Jalen Waddle, Jamison Crowder, the Jays at wide receiver. The offensive line, we've done a pretty good job getting protection for him with the addition of Elijah Vera Tucker. It's not amazing, still have a long way to go. And then on defense, we brought in some surefire playmakers in Paris Ford, Zaven Collins, Azeez Ojulari. These guys should be making a difference. I'm going to move them down all around so we have the right guys playing rush end and the right guys as sub linebacker and everything like that. Jalen Waddle in the slot. And I will see you guys for the midseason mark. Another breakout challenge for Chris Herndon. I don't think it's ever going to happen. You're not gonna get 2 touchdowns or 100+ yards. It's just not gonna happen. But I like that you're trying. We're 4-4. Massive turnaround here in year 2 in 2021, which I'm just gonna start calling it by the year. Gets a little bit hard to keep track of the year, even though you think, oh, it's 2020. If you're in 2027, it's year 7. You make a good point. Jamison Crowder is gonna be a free agent, and not one that I'm super interested in extending long term. He's 28 years old. I think the money, and that's 27 mil over 3 years, 9 million per year, essentially. I think the money is better served going to other players. Not necessarily re-signing anybody, although I think John Franklin Myers could be a re-sign candidate. He's got pretty good speed, finesse moves, strength. He's only 24 years old. He's 6'4", 292. He is somewhat expensive, though. Like, way too expensive for what he brings to the table. I want to keep him around, but I can't pay him that much. Like, he wants to get paid like he's in the mid-80s, and he isn't close. And once again, I want to thank you guys for subscribing so much. It really does mean a ton to me. I appreciate almost every one of you guys. Some of you guys are mean. I don't appreciate you guys as much, but a lot of you guys are awesome. As we go 6-10, not awesome. Checking out the team, Trevor Lawrence as a rookie was very good. His numbers are not astonishing per se, under 4,000 yards, but he broke the touchdown record by a rookie. It was 27 with Mayfield. Now it's 30. Only 9 picks. Threw for almost 4K yards. I mean, it's a great rookie year, all things considered. Todd Gurley was okay enough, nothing crazy. And then receiving, Jaylen Waddle as a rookie really went off. Over 1,000 yards, 12 touchdowns on 76 catches. Juju, pretty good as well. Chris Herndon had a really good season. Maybe he did do 100 yards that week. As CJ Mosley had 144 tackles, 12 for loss, also had 2 sacks. Good for CJ Mosley. Quinn Williams, 13 tackles for loss, led the way. And Zaven Collins as a rookie, 6.5 sacks, had 70 tackles, 5 for loss. Quinn was good. John Franklin Myers, 5 sacks. Azeez Ojulari, though, only 2. Desmond King led the way with 4 picks. Honestly, kind of forgot we got him. As Cam Newton wins MVP of the 6-10 Patriots. Joe Burrow in there at number 2. No Trevor Lawrence just yet, as he is number 4 for Offensive Player of the Year. Cam Newton at number 1 wins it. Defensive Player of the Year, Myles Garrett. CJ Mosley at 7. Offensive Rookie of the Year is Trevor Lawrence. Jaylen Waddle at 4. Man, Trey Lance went to the Broncos. That's interesting. Colts grabbed 2 great receivers in Devontae Smith and Tylan Wallace. Defensive Rookie of the Year goes to Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah. Zaven Collins at 3. Azeez Ojulari at 4. Paris Ford at 5. Just couldn't really win any of those. But this is not going to be a playoff team. 6-10, clearly. But we just have to say, hey, we had a really great rebound season going from 1 win to 6 wins. Let's just continue to build on that. Because based on our average, we're multiplying our wins by 6 every single year. So if we take it 6 times 6, we're going to have 36 wins next year. We're going to be really, really good. All right, John Franklin Myers want less money. What about that? You want to play for a new team? I can't stop you, but I'm not paying you $5 million a year. There's no way. I'm not paying Jamison Crowder either. We're at 81 overall. Show me some great dev traits. Yeah, Trevor Lawrence has superstar. How does he not have superstar X Factor? I'm beyond shy. I didn't give him superstar X Factor in this draft class. I mean, not that he needs it. He's already an 85 overall after his first season, but like 86 after this upgrade. But that's actually super shocking to me. All right, we're going to give him an improviser there, see what gets upgraded. Break sack, throw under pressure. Why did I do improviser? Jaylen Waddle, superstar X Factor. He's a monster. I really think Jaylen Waddle's a stud. I think that's clear. Todd Gurley went down from superstar to star development. Elijah Vera Tucker at star. And then defensively, Azeez Ojulari, superstar. 88 speed, 90 finesse moves already as a rookie. He got upgraded a ton and got superstar dev for no reason. CJ Mosley went up to superstar dev as he led the NFL in tackles. Blake Cashman didn't go up. Zaven Collins has star. Paris Ford has star. But we just got really lucky with some development trait upgrades. That was really, really nice. As we will simulate 2 free agency where hopefully we can make some big splashes in 2021. Still have a lot of money. Devontae Adams is here. Fred Warner is here. That'd be a big upgrade over both CJ Mosley and Blake Cashman. CJ Mosley might get traded. Now would be the time. Orlando Brown Jr. could play right tackle. But Fred Warner, no one's offering him a contract. I will offer you a contract, Fred. I'm all in. As much as I would like to have Devontae Adams, he's just way too expensive, and I think we have to use our money in other areas. He's so good, but we just can't afford it, and he's 29. He wants a big contract, long-term security, and I just really can't do that. We could maybe bring Jamison Crowder back for real cheap if he wants to sign, like 2 years, 10 mil. It's a bad contract for him, but maybe he'll sign. We no longer have Chris Herndon, but we could bring him back in free agency if we wanted to. He still is only at normal dev. Dallas Goddard, I think, would be a way better option. And he's probably going to be pretty cheap as well. So I tried to go out there, lowball some guys, make a bunch of savvy moves. We'll see who ends up accepting. And Fred Warner and Orlando Brown Jr. both accept. And those are two guys I really didn't pay a ton. Those are some team-friendly contracts. And now Orlando Brown Jr., who's a right tackle anyway, who was changed to be listed at left tackle because of the Ronnie Stanley injury, goes back to his natural position of right tackle. Our offensive line's coming together really, really nicely. And on defense, we get even better as well. Big addition in Fred Warner. Middle linebacker is locked down for the future. But I'll tell you what, I would rather, for the price, have Blake Cashman than CJ Mosley. CJ Mosley is regressing. He's 30 years old. I know he just led the NFL in tackles, but there's more to a linebacker than tackling. I know that's a big important thing, but the tackle stat doesn't take into account where the tackle happened. Did they allow a catch to make the tackle? And CJ Mosley is a good player, but this is just not a guy who I see being on this team in 2 years, realistically at 30 years old, and with 2 years remaining on his contract. Now is the time to trade CJ Mosley, and I'm not going to miss it. Dallas Goddard was also someone that had a contract offer from me, as we got Jonathan Franklin Myers back. I lowballed him big time from what he wanted, and he accepted it. I guess he sees that this team's going somewhere now. He wants to be back on the team, and I don't blame him. This Jets team is actually moving in the right direction, so he's making a good call. Dallas Goddard still remains unsigned. Okay, we got everyone we wanted easily. Jamison Crowder back. Super cheap contract. Dallas Goddard is in here. His contract really isn't super, super cheap. Like, I lowballed him, but it's really not like a crazy low or crazy high contract. It's just a really good value. He's getting between 5 and 6 mil per year. That's really good over the 4 years. And then Jamison Crowder, I'll tell you, I gave him nothing. He's regressing. He's not my long-term option, clearly, as a third receiver. But for right now, he doesn't really have to do anything crazy. He doesn't even play that much. He's getting about $5 million a year over 2 years. Really, really good team-oriented contract for us. Going into the draft, I'm looking at center and right guard. And then on defense, I'm looking at maybe middle linebacker and defensive line. D-tackle, left end have to be better. I think cornerback as well is something we'll very strongly consider. I almost just skipped to next season. I want to skip to the draft, which is next week. And here we are. Still have a first-round pick from the Seahawks. Still have our first-round pick. We're picking at number 6 overall. Let's capitalize, bring in some really good players. 2 awesome centers available, and we missed on both those guys. Lance Hardiman seems okay. So we should be able to address team needs here quite easily. Oh my goodness, Jermaine Jackson of the Jackson 5 plays football now and he's only 23. Ooh, strong consideration. Okay, this might be the best middle linebacker prospect I've ever seen. 4.43 speed, crazy bench, amazing top skills. He's 6'4", 250 out of Louisville. Matthew Favors has to be on the team. I mean, the top 2 defensive ends are crazy. I'm excited to see their overalls, but we're not going to have a chance to get either of them. Westerman is a 79. Sanders is a 78. There was no chance we were getting either one of them, but they are very, very good players. And at number 6, I'm taking the middle linebacker. No bones about it. Matthew Favors looks incredible. Even if he has normal dev, he will be a super high overall. And he's a 77 overall, number 5 in the class. So strong draft class, only normal development, but 90 speed, 89 tackle coming out. 83 hit power, good pursuit, good zone coverage at 64 coming out, 66 power moves. He'd be like an 80 overall outside linebacker that we just got at number 6. So I am overjoyed with that pickup. At number 14, let's go with the center. Carl James out of Oklahoma. 77 overall, number 4 in the class. Star better development. Wow, he's so good at 90 strength. Great run block and pass block. Carl James, center of the future. Can't really do a whole lot better than that. All right, round 3. Is there anything else I want? I mean, there's some decent players available. I think Sharif Goings is going to be my guy here. Slot receiver out of Georgia. Late first-round guy. Good depth on the team, number 32 in the class. Took him at 70. Only normal development, but he's a, exclusive slot guy. Should be an okay returner. We'll have the CPU handle the rest. This is one of the stronger draft classes I've probably ever seen. So I'm curious how the rest of the class looks. I mean, Greg Westerman looked amazing, and he was really, really good. Eric Sanders looked amazing. He was. They both have star better development. Eric Sanders honestly looks a little bit better of the two, in my opinion, despite being lower overall. Daniel Navarre. Interesting. But personally, I think we did amazing. And the turnaround on this team has been amazing. We're at 83 overall. 85 offense, 81 defense. And once I move things around, we're going to be in an even better position. Carl James, 6'3", 319, 74 speed. He's going to play right guard for right now. We still have Connor McGovern at center. Probably won't end up re-signing him. But for right now, he will be our starting center as Carl James transitions to right guard. His athleticism really makes him more of a guard than a center right now for this team, at least. As we have some crazy playmakers on the team. So we're rocking a 4-3 right now. I think I really should trade CJ Mosley. I made this whole thing about it where I'm trading him, and then I didn't trade him. But I am going to trade him, and it's got to be for some type of a pass rusher. We have Azeez Ojulari, which I do like, but based on our linebacker situation, we just don't need CJ Mosley in his monster contract. It just isn't worth it. Okay, monster trade happening. This isn't like a great move for the future, but it's a really, really good move for right now. As Chuma Edoga wasn't playing on the move, CJ Mosley, obviously superstar like development, into the 80s overall middle linebacker, and what, a second round pick I moved for the sack attack. Now for the green and black, Khalil Mack. There's not a whole lot of black going on, but like they do have some jerseys that are all black-ish, so it's gonna count. Khalil Mack, what an amazing pickup. You know, Buffalo, New York guy. Not exactly close to Buffalo, but it is still New York. Well, actually, it's not. It's New Jersey. It's East Rutherford, New Jersey. But New York's in the team name. Khalil Mack's on the team. Rush end. He should be unbelievable. He is 31. Again, this isn't a crazy move for the future, but what an unbelievable talent to get right now. Really, really good left end. And look at Favors. 79 overall at outside linebacker as a rookie. He should be very, very good. And now, I don't know why they would have Azeez Ojulari not be our rush right end alongside Khalil Mack. But they do. I need to change that. Mid-season mark. This team is 4-4 again. Bills are 6-1. Currently atop the AFC East. Quinnen Williams will be a free agent. We have a breakout development challenge for Trevor Lawrence. What does he need to do, though? It's going to be like throw 5 touchdowns and 400 yards. 350 total passing yards and 4 total touchdowns and the win. That's going to be pretty difficult even against the 2-5 New England Patriots. We won 24-14. That's not going to be 4 touchdowns, tell you that. Yeah. So, not going to be an X factor, unfortunately. But Quinnen Williams needs to be re-signed. Absolutely has to happen. And I don't think anyone else really needs to be brought back. I think Blake Cashman would be okay. But we just don't need him with the current depth we have at the position. I mean, he's pretty cheap. I guess I could give him like a 4-year deal. It's not really worth anything. So he actually does re-sign. Bless Austin, I don't want. Quinnen Williams, I do want. Long-term, locked up. It's going to be $66.6 million. Yikes. Over 6 years. Quinnen Williams returns, and we'll see if we can make a playoff push at 5-4. Did not make the playoffs even after a 28-0 victory over the Ravens. We're 7-9. So again, it is improvement. We didn't win 36 wins like I thought we could have, or 36 games. But Trevor Lawrence did throw for over 4,300 yards, 29 touchdowns to 11 picks. Rushing, Todd Gurley was all right. Didn't hit any of the benchmarks that you'd look for him to with over 1,000 yards or double-digit touchdowns, but did average over 4 yards per carry. Receiving, Juju over 1,000 yards, 10 TDs. Jalen Waddle over 1,000 yards, 7 touchdowns. Even Jamison Crowder was near 1,000 yards. Defensively, Fred Warner, amazing year. That's got to be Defensive Player of the Year. 131 tackles, 10 for loss, 6 sacks, 6 picks. Are you kidding me? Khalil Mack led the way with 9.5 sacks. Got to be way more than that. Fred Warner, 6. Azeez Ojulari with 5.5. John Franklin Myers, 2.5. Quinnen Williams, did he even have 1? No. Annoying. That's so annoying. As we get to awards, Josh Allen wins MVP. No Jets in there. AFC Offensive Player of the Year is Josh Allen. Trevor Lawrence at 7. Defensive Player of the Year is Fred Warner. No shot there. Offensive Rookie of the Year, Greg Matthews. Colts QB, I would assume. And then Defensive Rookie of the Year goes to Andrew Kidd. Matthew Favors finishes at 3. Would love some dev trade upgrades. We're an 86 overall. We are getting a whole lot better, as Juju Smith-Schuster has gone up to superstar dev. Here we go. Juju made his second Pro Bowl. Trevor Lawrence is closing in an X Factor. He'll get it at some point, I guarantee. Defensively, Fred Warner has gone up to superstar X Factor. Led the NFL in tackles, won linebacker of the year and defensive player of the year. He better have gotten superstar X Factor after that. Favors did not go up in development trait, though. That is pretty frustrating. He really didn't get upgraded all that much. Only went up 2 overall. What do I need in free agency? It's not a running back right now. What is it? I mean, we could use a center, but Rodney Hudson and Jason Kelce are both just so old. I think I'm fine to actually just keep my money for right now and worry about re-signing the players that I do have. So we're just going to head to the draft. Picking at number 10. So we're still just not winning as many games as we need to. Mike Holly. Wow, that would be a really good player to add. Bill Clinton's here. 4'4", 240. This is Demaryius King. We're just going to simulate to pick number 10. See who's there. Good defensive tackle goes to the Lions. As, what do I really want to take here? Got some guys I'm looking at, but I think this is a trade down spot. Unless I want to take Bryce Beverly and play him long-term over Jamison Crowder. I was only going to call him Jamario Moon. What? I'm actually going to take him. Bryce Beverly at number 10. 77 overall. He's the #1 player in the entire draft. Only normal development. Good speed, obviously. Good deep route running. Spectacular catch. All really good numbers there. Medium route running could use a lot of work. But yeah, I'm going to play him over Jamison Crowder right away as we pick at number 10 in the 3rd round next. Demaryius Morris, maybe. I need to get this hold X to reorder. If you guys ever have this, you can just add guys to your draft board and then move them around. And then there you go. Now it's not even a problem. But I do need to get them off my draft board because the CPU will draft them, and I do not want that. I'll just do what I always do. Take the 1st round D tackle, who, I mean, he's a mid-1st round guy. Maybe there's an off chance he'll have star dev trait or better, and he does. Enrique Batista. 74 overall, star better development. I mean, he doesn't do anything well. Like, he's strong, great. Block shed's okay. Power moves, finesse moves is super low. But he will develop well. It's not into something I want. Get hold X to reorder off of here. Get it away. I'll have the CPU handle the rest of the draft. So kind of a weird draft class. We got the best player in the draft, only normal dev. And I guess it's not only a 77 overall. Like, that's good, but it's not crazy. First pick was a safety. That will never happen. Does have star better development trait, but Mike Holly was really a guy I was looking at. 82 speed, 82 finesse moves. Only normal dev, though. So I guess we did get the best player in the draft. Can't really complain about that. But I might anyway. Oh, Fat Eddie. We got Eddie Lacy. His name actually is Ed Lacy. I mean, he's got a cannon on him. It's no Trevor Lawrence, but he's pretty damn good. In 2023, we have a pretty good team going. Like, this is a strong team for sure. Got some really good guys out here. I'm going 3-4 Storm on defense. The 4-3 defense last year just wasn't cutting it, so might see a little bit more pressure with this one. See some playmakers out there actually making plays. I'm getting Jamison Crowder out of the slot. And I think, honestly, I think our rookie would be best served there, even though he's not the best. Like, Juju's clearly a better slot option. Getting Bryce Beverly the most targets and the most touches to potentially increase his development trait long term, that's the goal. This is not a one-year rebuild. This is aiming for the future. It's 20 years. We're in year 3. There's no need to stress it. We're not in win now mode. But I think we could do really, really well and actually win now. Solid team. 87 overall, 89 offense, 85 defense. And I will simulate to the midseason mark. 4-3. This team just, it's not taking off, but it's playing okay. Pats are 6-1. Do have a breakout player. Paris Ford. All right. What does he have to do? Against the Chiefs, no less. Patrick Mahomes. That's never going to happen. Like, none of those things are going to happen. He needs 2 picks, forced fumbles, sacks, interceptions. It's picks. I don't know why I said that twice. Or hold the Chiefs to under 150 passing yards. It is Patrick Mahomes. It won't happen. There's no way. Mekhi Becton is going to be a free agent. Todd Gurley's in there. Probably not bringing him back, honestly, but Mekhi Becton needs a long-term contract. 7 years. Mekhi Becton, welcome back. Crowder, no. Poole at 30 years old, no. Braden Mann, yes. Needs more salary. Ashton Davis, no. Denzel Mims, we don't need. Toad Gurley, just probably not. Did not make the playoffs. Crushed the Broncos in Week 17, but went 7-9 again. What is happening? It's our offense that's holding us back somehow. 25th best offense, 10th best defense. Trevor Lawrence pretty much put up his rookie year numbers, but just had a little bit more yards, 4,100 instead of like 3,900. 30 touchdowns to 9 picks, same rate. Todd Gurley was not very good. And receiving, I guess, did Beverly hold us back in the slide? His numbers were really not good. Dallas Goddard led the way, but Juju had the most touchdowns with 8, almost had the most yards. It was 1 yard short. Defensively, Fred Warner, another great year from him. 4 sacks, 117 tackles, 4 tackles for loss, and a pick. Khalil Mack, though, 18 sacks, 15 tackles for loss. Quinn Williams, 8.5 sacks. We're getting more pressure. Azeez Ojulari, 7.5 sacks. Zaven Collins, 7.5 sacks. 4 for Warner, 3.5 for John Franklin Myers, 3 for Jabari Zuniga. 4 picks for Paris Ford led the way, 2 for Zaven Collins, Desmond King, and Marcus May. We have the personnel to make this defense work. The offense is really just not it right now. We need to make them a lot better. I don't know how we're not seeing any Trevor Lawrence anywhere in there, but he does get 6th for Offensive Player of the Year. Defensive Player of the Year is Von Miller. Khalil Mack at 3 after an amazing year. Offensive Rookie of the Year is Hunter Butler. Bryce Beverly at 3. Dwayne Clement at 7. Defensive Rookie of the Year goes to Isaiah Burnett and Enrique Batista at number 6. But still, no playoffs for this team in 2023. I think, though, 2024 is going to be the year for a playoff berth. Are you kidding me? Paris Ford has Superstar Dev. Oh, we got it in the Super Bowl week. I thought he almost passed the challenge for a minute. Paris Ford is up to Superstar Development, though. There we go. He should skyrocket into the 80s now. Azeez Ojulari really hasn't upgraded himself all that quickly. Only an 83 overall, but has 95 finesse moves. He is balling out, to be fair. Just had his best year. 7.5 sacks. We need a better corner. We could use a better D lineman. Enrique Batista has star dev. But I like the team for the future. We just need some of these guys to get upgraded a little bit more. Dev traits, most importantly. Where did our defense rank? I saw the offense was 25th. I figured the defense had to have been pretty good. And we were 10th best in the league. That really isn't too bad. Yeah, Todd Gurley is done. Jamison Crowder's done. Brian Poole is done. Braden Mann, I can just give a little bit more salary to, and he's going to be back long term. He is 7-year deal. Don't have to worry about punter now. Ashton Davis, if he ever got up to star dev, I would have been all over it, but never did. So Paris Ford had to be the guy. And we'll see what's in free agency. We have money. Stephon Gilmore would be a really good option at cornerback. A lot of teams going after him. He's going to want a lot of money. I cannot afford $20 million a year for him. I cannot do it. Austin Eckler, maybe? I don't really want to give him 4 years. I would prefer Rojo for like 2 years. Yeah. Give me Ronald Jones for 2 years. It's not really too bad. Actually, I can take that money down a little bit more too. Actually, you know what? I will bring in Rodney Hudson for a year or two. He probably will end up retiring. And then we'll just draft a center in his place. Demaryius Lawrence is nice, but he's 32. I think we're pretty much fine. We'll just look for the draft to replace some of these guys. We need to hit on mid-round picks. That's the name of the game for these long-term rebuilds. That's where teams win and lose. In the 2nd to the 4th round. Isaiah Simmons is here. Marcus May is down to an 81 overall because he's 31. Where would Isaiah Simmons play? Probably strong safety. He's really not too expensive, so I'll bring him in. Maybe can even move him down to linebacker, but I want Isaiah Simmons. So we did get Rodney Hudson and Rojo and Isaiah Simmons. So our offensive line is now incredible for Trevor Lawrence. We do need to probably draft a running back. And then defensively, Isaiah Simmons is just a really good player to have. Marcus May is regressing. He's down to an 81 overall. And also, it's worth noting that he is going into the final year of his contract. I think you probably know where that one's going. Really, you're not going to be able to afford to bring him back. But we need someone at cornerback really badly. We need Probably another defensive lineman. Picking at number 11. I won't be afraid to move up if there's a good enough player. There is a baller. Skip the combine. Just doesn't look that good. 2 Texas edge rushers. Both listed at left outside linebacker, but both look really good. Gerald Holloway. That's the one. Gerald Holloway looks pretty amazing. Deontay Wilburn. Probably not good value for the spot. Oh, Johnny Saunders. Good value for the second, maybe. I mean, Dean Sampson looks amazing. A+ carrying. But Sean Bradshaw is the best player in the class. Has to be. A catching. A spectacular catch. Ran 4.26. Sean Bradshaw has to be heavily considered if he's on the board. Despite good depth at receiver, we're drafting for the future. Long term. Noah Garner. There's our future center. Kind of shocked Jaleel Traylor is a mid-first round guy when he looks like one of the best safeties I've ever seen with hit power, zone coverage, speed. Jaleel Traylor looks amazing. I am very interested to see how this draft goes. There goes Gerald Holloway. Deontay Wilburn. I don't want to move up. If Sean Bradshaw goes, Sean Bradshaw goes. We don't need a receiver. I think he's going to be available, though. There goes a 77 overall corner, Brett Brown. Is Sean Bradshaw too good to pass up on? That's a tough question. Because we need a corner more. And Rodney Brown looks amazing out of Penn State. Harvey Kilgore even looks okay. Ran 4.29. A lot of speed in this draft class. Jaleel Traylor's there. I don't know, man. This is a really tough call because I know he's going to be amazing. We all can see he's going to be amazing. Is it worth the draft pick? You know what? As much as I want to, we just can't take him. We don't need him enough. Rodney Brown's going to be the pick. Looks too good to pass up on. Number 8 in the class. Took him at 11. 76 overall. Only normal development, unfortunately. But at the end of the day, we do not have a second cornerback. Or we didn't. It was only Desmond King and then like a player in the 60s. We had to make a move. That receiver's going to be crazy, though. He's going to be so good. Packers going to take him? No. Do I trade back up? This is going to be a lot of movement here. It's Enrique Batista and Bryce Beverly headed to the Saints for number 15. So we gave them a very good young receiver and a pretty good talented defensive tackle. Here's the thing about Enrique Batista. Yeah, it was fun to say Enrique, but he just didn't even fit the scheme. We're a speed rushing defensive line, and he was a run stuffer who wasn't even amazing at that. Sean Bradshaw's a pick here. Number 1 in the draft, as mentioned. He's a 78 overall with normal dev. Unfortunately, only normal. 96 speed, 86 spectacular catch, 86 catching. He's an upgraded version of the receiver we took last year. You might be remembering him by his name, Bryce Beverly. We just traded him away. Remember that guy? Yeah. So we got a slightly upgraded version at the time that's a downgrade right now. So I don't know what to do with that. There goes Trayvon Burris, 76 overall. So this is a pretty strong class. So you get to number 11 in the second round. Is this running back area? Johnny Saunders. Ooh, we missed out on the center. Well, that's no good. Kind of forgot we needed that. I mean, we don't really because we have Rodney Hudson for a year. But this is going to be running back all day. It's got to be. Johnny Saunders out of Clemson is the pick. Only a 73 overall with normal dev. That is not that good. But he does have 90 speed, 84 trucking. I mean, his attributes are all pretty solid. He just has normal development and doesn't have it all yet. Oh, there he was. He went 4 picks before we could take him. And he was amazing. 77 overall, star, better development. He looks even better than the center we got last year. Look at that run blocking. Yeah, Noah Garner would have been really nice to have. Kind of forgot about him with the trade up for the corner. Or the receiver we traded up for, that's right. 88 overall, 91 offense, 85 defense. Our offense is just lagging behind a little bit, and it's pretty frustrating. It's almost like the Jets are just designed to lose in simulation. What do we draft? We got a cornerback upgrade in, what is his name? Rodney Brown? Yeah. What up, Rodney? And then specialists, we got... I need Khalil Mack and Azeez Ojulari rushing the passer. The fact that John Franklin Myers doesn't go to rush D tackle makes no sense to me. It doesn't. Isaiah Simmons at sub linebacker is going to be unfair. That should be really, really good. So we just have amazing depth on the defense, even though we don't have a ton of amazing players. We have a bunch of players who are trending towards being amazing. Isaiah Simmons isn't starting, but he's going to. Marcus May will be the strong safety when Simmons goes to play sub linebacker. Favors Collins will start at linebacker, but of course get taken out when sub packages come in. And then Paris Ford at free safety, I think is going to be very great for us. We'll simulate to the midseason mark, see how this team's doing. I said we are going to make the playoffs in 2024. Don't let me down. 2024, we are 4-4 again. That's all this team does is go 4-4 at the bye. I'm getting sick of it. But this is the Jets, man. I guess I knew what I was signing up for. Can't be mad at anybody but myself. Trevor Lawrence needs a big contract extension. It won't be cheap. He's a 94 overall, 24 years old. It is a monster deal. $256 million over 7. I have no choice but to give it to him. No choice. Jalen Waddle's here. I mean, there are a lot of free agents, man. Our entire first class. I mean, these guys are going to be expensive. Paris Ford was like $3 million a year. I know he's a safety, but way too cheap for him. All right, we got Elijah Vera Tucker back too. So Paris Ford, Zaven Collins, Elijah Vera Tucker, Azeez Ojulari, Jalen Waddle, and Trevor Lawrence have all re-signed. We do not have Khalil Mack money. We do not have money for Desmond King or for Marcus May. I re-signed the guys who we had to re-sign. It sucks to let Khalil Mack go. I think I'm just going to take the salary cap hit, go super into the negative to franchise tag him, keep him for another year, maybe do a tag and trade sort of thing. We're going to simulate to the playoffs. Doesn't really seem like we're going to be taking part in them, unfortunately, but you never know. If we win just, half as many games as we played in the first half of the season, we're going to make the playoffs. If we win like more, instead of going 4-4, if we win 6, I hope that, was understood. I didn't even think I phrased it well. We finished 8-8 though. Exact same pace, 22nd best offense. The offense is just not getting it going under Trevor Lawrence. I don't understand it. Because, I mean, his short accuracy is bad, but the rest is really, really good. He only threw 26 touchdowns. Didn't really have a good year at all. Rojo was okay. Johnny Saunders, 14 touchdowns as a rookie. Juju led the way, but Jalen Waddle didn't do much. Dallas Goddard. No one really did anything. Defensively, Isaiah Simmons led the team in tackles, also had 12 tackles for loss, 4 sacks and a pick. Sacks, though, went to Khalil Mack, 13.5. Azeez Ojulari had 8.5, 5 for John Franklin Myers, 5 for Collins, 4 for Isaiah Simmons, 3.5 for Quinnen Williams, interceptions, 3 for Fred Warner, and Desmond King led the way. But I don't know what it is about this team that just isn't performing. As Dak Prescott wins MVP, AFC Offensive Player of the Year, Patrick Mahomes. No Jets. Defensive Player of the Year is Bobby Wagner on the Patriots. Khalil Mack at 8. Offensive Rookie of the Year is Johnny Saunders. Maybe he'll go up to star dev. Defensive Rookie of the Year goes to that safety I talked about, Trayvon Burris. Rodney Brown finishes at number 2. A couple other guys in there. But yeah, that safety, I need to look at him because I said he was one of the best safeties I've seen. He was a 76 overall coming out. Just didn't make sense to go up and get him when we didn't need him. And, I mean, he's underneath Micah Fitzpatrick. Only has normal dev. 86 speed, I guess, has to be holding him back a lot. His B-plus zone coverage was only a 70? How is that possible? It's like not even good. So unfortunately, I thought this would be the season we made the playoffs. We had the most wins that we've had in a season, but it's only 8. I mean, we have a monster team, though. That's what confuses me the most. We have a great team, and we're just still not performing. But it's going to be tough to get Khalil Mack back. Rodney Hudson retired. And then defensively, Desmond King went up to superstar dev. Paris Ford got downgraded to star dev. All right. So Desmond King is 30. Marcus May's 32. It's going to be a tag and trade on Khalil Mack. I got to just offer him something so I can franchise tag him. I don't even know if we can. Yeah, he's going to test free agency, but he's not. I'm going to accept going into the negative by about 20 million. And I'm franchise tagging Khalil Mack, keeping him for another year. I could tag and trade him, maybe. It's going to be tough because I got to work around the cap with that. But I think we're going to be able to make the playoffs, man. The team's really good. I don't understand it right now. Where can we save some money? That middle linebacker, but he's good, though. So, no. You know what it is? It's Trevor Lawrence's contract is so large that just like what happened with, what was it, Andrew Luck, the team doesn't have enough money to get better players around the stud quarterback, and that's a big problem. Picking number 13 overall, I need to see how far negative into the cap we are. We need a running back, we need a center, and then defensively, it's still D-line, it's still corner. We need cornerback more than anything. That's for sure. It is not a good cornerback class. It is a really, really bad time to need a corner. George Flynn, probably the best one. And I don't know. Maybe he'll have a good development trait. Random safety who looks amazing in the 4th round. Okay. We'll see what's available at number 13 here in the 1st round. There goes Josh Godwin. And I'm not really seeing a ton that I want here. I thought about moving around. I'm not going to. I'm just going to take the best player I can at this point. Nelly Hart, he's a safety. Probably will be forced to play nickel corner. It's not an ideal spot. It's not an ideal spot at all. But Nelly Hart is my pick here. 76 overall, only normal development, but the number 5 overall player in the class. 91 speed, 72 zone, 66 man, 82 hit power. Hold extra reorders, annoying me. So the corner went. So I'm taking Mike Cook, the safety. Again, anticipating that he can play some corner for us. Number 17 in the class. Took him at 45. Normal development, but he does have 71 man coverage. 66 zone, 94 speed. I think he can play some corner for us, and he's going to have to because we don't have a lot there. Man, a bunch of 77 overall players in the class. And I was looking at David Neal. Went 2 picks before us, and he looks like he would have been pretty good. He looks great, honestly. One of the better D tackles we've ever seen. 77 overall, but can actually do things. It's not just like high strength tackling and decent block shed. He can rush the passer, and his development trait is only star. So I guess it doesn't suck too badly. And there was another defensive end I liked. It was Matthias Roundtree, an outside linebacker, but he's a pass rusher. 86 speed, 80 finesse moves coming out. Pretty good player, but normal depth. So I guess that really wasn't the worst draft we could have had. It's just we took safeties to play corner because there weren't good corners available. So we're going to need them to showcase their versatility because right now it's not looking great. So we're actually going to be able to get away with it because these guys can play cornerback. Like Mike Cook went up in overall to a 75. I think because of that man coverage. Hart did go down 2 overall from a 76 to a 74 because his man coverage isn't great. But those guys are just physical guys that can play DB, can play in the slot. That's where Hart's going to play. Cook, I think, is better suited on the outside. And, I mean, this kind of has to be a playoff team. I'm shocked that it hasn't been. Like, at the end of the day, it is the Jets. I can see where you might think that. But it's an 88 overall team. What's holding us back right now? I don't know. The squad in 2025 is looking pretty good. But we just need the success of the actual team to get to where the team seems to be. Does that make sense? I feel like I've been all over the place. Just misspeaking and saying things that make no sense this video. Not like the analysis about the players, but I'll say something like we don't have it yet. When like we take a player like whose attributes aren't great yet. I'm like, that's not really what you should be saying. This is a weird tangent, I'm not gonna lie, but we got a good team. It's time for them to put it together. See, that sounds odd to me. Anyway, we're 6-2. We're getting it together, leading the AFC East for the first time in ever. Khalil Mack maybe is a big reason why, keeping him around. He is going to be a free agent, though. Who else will be? Some big players. Dallas Goddard, Carl James, Matthew Favors. Not really a huge class. Can we afford Khalil Mack? Yes, we can, actually. He's probably going to retire. I mean, he's 34. I will offer him that contract, though, and he's back for 2 years. Carl James is my next biggest priority at center. Going to be important to bring him back long term. He is. Matthew Favors, I would like to have. Is he worth it? He didn't really develop because he never got star dev. He's not crazy expensive. And if he goes up to star, he'll get probably into the mid 80s before he retires, high 80s. So we just can't bring back Dallas Goddard or Rojo there, which I'm really not even too stressed about. Did we not make the playoffs? Oh, we did. Finally, a year later than I expected, but we are in 2025 and finally in the playoffs. Khalil Mack's going to be like, hey, I'm not playing anymore. And Fred Warner's like, hey, I talked to Khalil. He's done with football. Please, he's going to tell me that. Yeah, I spoke to Khalil earlier today. Yeah, so Khalil Mack is going to retire, win or lose. So that's not great. If we lose first round, Khalil Mack's going to be like, damn, I tried as hard as I could, and it wasn't good enough. I'll be like, please, you're breaking my heart, Khalil. I don't even want to look at it. But yeah, this is a playoff team. Finally won the division at 10-6. 27th best offense in terms of yards, 11th best defense. Trevor Lawrence was like pretty good, but not a lot of touchdowns, not a ton of yards. Rushing, Rojo was bad. Receiving, Juju had over 1,200 yards, 11 touchdowns. Jalen Waddle, 69 catches, nice. 800 yards, 7 touchdowns. The receiving numbers are not amazing because the passing numbers are not amazing. Oh my God, look at Khalil Mack. 20.5 sacks, 18 tackles for loss. Azeez Ojulari, 9 sacks. He's never had double-digit sacks in a year. Never had double-digit sacks, but has been very solid overall. Like, he's just played well. He's been a great second option. Great second fiddle to Khalil Mack. And also, if you saw his overall, he's into the 90s now. I don't know where that came from. But out of nowhere, he's a 91 overall with morale. I don't know how it happened. He's got 98 finesse moves. He's going to replace Khalil Mack and be amazing. But Khalil Mack had an unreal year with 20.5 sacks. Also an interception for good measure. 2 picks for Isaiah Simmons, 2 for Rodney Brown. Would lead the team. Yearly awards, Baker Mayfield with the Giants wins MVP. New QB for the Bucks. No Trevor Lawrence in here. AFC Offensive Player of the Year, Trevor Lawrence not in there. Defensive Player of the Year is Khalil Mack. You expect that. Offensive Rookie of the Year, Trevor Marshall. No Jets. Defensive Rookie of the Year is Mike Cook. Nelly Harded too. So our cornerbacks played really, really well, I guess. So that's always nice to see. But will we get eliminated in the wild card against the Chiefs? I hope not. It'd be sad. We beat them. Khalil Mack should be like, let's go. Yeah, look at Fred Warner. Everyone's rallying around Khalil. Morale through the roof. What is morale going to take our team defense to? Is it going to be like +5s? Yeah, +2s and 3s. I mean, that's still pretty good. They're playing up. The team's looking crazy. But can they beat the Bengals? That's the big question. And the big answer was yes. 21-7. Oh, Fred Warner is all in on the Super Bowl. Even more morale. Does it stack? Does morale stack? I don't think so. But it might. I don't really know. I mean, I'm still seeing +2s and +3s, +1s for some players. So I don't think it stacks. I think we just get it like maybe once per game. Trevor Lawrence goes up to a 98 overall. If we beat the Ravens, the Jets are going to the Super Bowl in 2025, and it didn't happen. It didn't happen. Devastating. Khalil Mack does not end up winning a Super Bowl. Hate to see it. He's going to retire. It's a lot of money off the books for us. So I guess that's a bonus. Hey, Juju Smith-Schuster up to superstar development. Well, nope. Superstar X-Factor development for Juju Smith-Schuster. Ed Lacy's got star. I don't know how Saunders didn't go up to star with his 14 touchdown year. And then defensively, I'm looking for upgrades. I don't see any. The corners didn't go up. It's annoying. And as you can see, Khalil Mack did in fact retire. You hate to see it. So do I want any of these guys back? I think I'm fine to just let them walk. Too old. We're not good enough at the moment. Would rather have my money to re-sign the players I need to re-sign long term. Yeah, Khalil Mack definitely retired. Saw his name in there. We'll see what we have in free agency. Only $7.5 million. Probably won't be able to get anybody. Maybe a tight end on a good deal. I mean, Dallas Goddard's there, but Dalton Schultz would be way better for us. We got a tight end. He's 75 overall, 26 years old. I think his name is David Stover. He's not great. I'm not going to lie to you. I'll level with you. A lot of lateral moves have been made. And we're back to the... What was the video where I kept talking about lateral moves? I think it was the Raiders 20-year rebuild. You can check that out if you are enjoying this video and haven't seen that one already. Terrell Daniels, A- finesse moves. But Roman Scarborough is a way better player in his A- finesse move. Jimmy Kitchens Can they take the heat? That's a sick name for a pass rusher. I need to trade up for Roman Scarborough. I just have to figure out how to do that. I might have to trade up inside the top 6. I think I'm looking at number 6 with the Colts. I'm just worried he's about to go. He's available at number 6. I'm making a move with the Colts. So Orson Fields, who's a good backup right end for us, but is young and talented. Just, we have, I don't know, like, Franklin Myers is older and not developing, but is better right now. I could have traded him. I decided to trade the younger player, which in hindsight feels like a worse decision. 2 third-round picks, 1 this year, 1 next year to move up. And I am taking that outside linebacker. I almost just simulated my pick, which would not be good. Roman Scarborough looks amazing. Is he better than Jimmy Kitchens? ¿Por qué no los dos? Why don't I get both of them? Is that possible? It probably isn't. I think Roman Scarborough just overall looks like the better player across the board. He's very slightly slower, but the ability is all better, so he's got to be better. 79 overall, number 2 in the class, only normal development, but he looks amazing. He looks unreal. He's still available at number 10, dude. I got to make a move up. I got to make a move up. Hopefully the Bucs want Jonathan Franklin Myers. They want a left end, which is not what I have. Oh, I'm on the Cardinals. What? Okay. Nah, they want a right end. Let's go. Jonathan Franklin Myers is on the move. I could have changed his position. They don't want him. They say, oh, he doesn't fit our scheme. That's true. Trading a 1 this year, a 2 this year, and a 2 next year to move up to number 10. I think it's worth it, though. I think it's worth it. For progression for the future, Jimmy Kitchens is way too good to pass on. 78 overall, number 4 in the class. Also, unfortunately, only normal development, but he does look really, really good. He's got 60 zone coverage as well. Well, okay then. Don't pick again till the 4th round at the very end of the 4th, but I think it was worth it because we got 2 really, really good players. Go Kevin Williams here, defensive tackle. Not to be confused with Kevin Williams, defensive tackle, by the way. You guys remember Kevin and Pat Williams? The Williams wall? Well, he's back in the NFL now. That 22 is a typo. He's actually 42, and he's coming back to play for the Jets. Okay, so I've rearranged the team to my liking, and I think we're in a really good spot. How old is Zaven Collins now? 28? Age of regression. He's regressed. No. Okay, well, that is just not cool. Kitchens and Scarborough are going to play right and left end. Azeez Ojulari at left outside linebacker. Zaven Collins right outside. I don't want him to be a rush end. I want Kitchens. This is the team, though. We need some dev trade upgrades. Get normal development off my screen. Midseason mark 3 and 4. Balling out. This seems great. What is the issue? I mean, we got worse. I think that's a good place to start. We don't have a center, so that's a problem. Immediately, I'm noticing that as a problem. And then defensively, I honestly don't really see a problem. I really don't. Our cornerbacks are okay enough, although not great, I understand. Orlando Brown Jr., 30 years old. We do have money to re-sign him, though. He's not that expensive over 4 years. He wants more money. John Franklin Myers is gone. I mean, let's be honest. Most of these guys are gone. Most of these guys are gone. Did not make the playoffs. Finished 6-10. 16. Dude, Trevor Lawrence sucks. Why? Our defense was amazing. Trevor Lawrence threw 23 touchdowns. What's happening? He doesn't suck, right? I get that. But he's just not doing anything crazy. Do we need a running back to help out the entire offense? Receiving numbers are pedestrian. I mean, Jalen Waddle was really good, don't get me wrong. Fred Warner, per usual, was amazing. That's got to be Defensive Player of the Year. Favors had 4 sacks. Quentin Williams led the team with 10, though. Scarborough, 6.5. Myers, 5.5. 4 for Favors. Ojulari had 4 only. Jimmy Kitchens had 3.5 only. Not a whole lot of interceptions. Where were we for points allowed defensively? 366. So about average, but like we limited yards, maybe because our offense was so dominant. It was not it. AFC Offensive Player of the Year, Lamar Jackson. Defensive Player of the Year, Kenneth Murray. Fred Warner at 5. I am pressing X to doubt. Defensive Rookie of the Year, Taylor McPherson. Scarborough at 3. Jimmy Kitchens at 4. How does this team go 6-10, man? It is a disaster. I still think Orlando Brown Jr. needs an extension. I will give him more money, and he is back. The rest can walk. We're just in kind of a weird situation where we have a solid team, and they don't win. In real life, the Jets have an awful team, and they also don't win. But we've got a really good team, and we still don't win. DeForest Buckner would be so perfect for my team. We're just not going to be able to afford him at all. 44 total points, sick contract. So we just got to go to the draft. See what we can get in there. Round 1, pick 7. I honestly do not love the options here. Like, there are some good players, don't get me wrong. I think I'm just going to reach for the center. Taking a center at number 10 overall. Let's not do that, actually. It's just honestly impossible to trade back and get the actual value that your pick should have. So I'm not trading back. But, I mean, Glenn Thurman here is the best player available. I don't really want to take another defensive lineman. We have enough. Do I take a running back top 10? All right, whatever. 78 overall, number 1 player in the class. We knew he was going to be really good. I'm shocked that he has better than normal dev with my luck lately. But he's a good player. He will average 3.4 yards per carry, and I'll rip my hair out in 2027. So this is the team for 2027. I mean, I've kind of just been forgetting about players on the team because they're not developing that fast. Like, Isaiah Simmons really hasn't done anything the entire rebuild. He got up to superstar, and they're like, psych, no, you're back down to star, so that's really cool. But yeah, I mean, like, the team's good. It's just unexceptional. It's an 88 overall team, and I'm saying that, which is odd because that's a really good overall for a team. But to me, it just doesn't feel as amazing as it should feel. And I think that's because of the success of the team. We're just not winning enough games for some reason. Every year, underperforming. 6-2 at the midseason mark, though. We like that. Juju Smith-Schuster, 99 overall, is 30 years old. When did he become a 90 overall? He wants a 5-year deal? No. It's just so much money. I'm going to have to franchise tag him. Sean Bradshaw's here. Nice little 85 overall receiver. I would rather have him for the price. Without question, he's back. Rodney Brown. Downtown Rodney Brown. Welcome back. The rest, we cannot afford it. We don't even really need him anyway. I do need Juju Smith-Schuster, but I will have to franchise tag him. Best season ever so far, 11-5. Finally some winning. It feels good in 2027. Won the division again. 5th best offense. Trevor Lawrence, his best career season, but he just really can't get over 30 yards passing. Okay, no. See, sometimes I say the wrong things, like, oh, the year he's had 30 yards, he had 4,418. Seems a little bit more than 30, don't you think, Bengal, you dumb idiot? Yeah, I meant to say touchdowns, and I didn't. Sometimes it doesn't calculate. I made a mistake. Had a great season, though. Rushing, Josh Kendricks averaged 3.8 yards per carry, so 0.4 more than I thought, but 15 touchdowns. What a rookie year. Receiving, Juju Smith-Schuster, 1,200 yards, 7 TDs. Jalen Waddle, over 900 yards, 6 touchdowns. And Sean Bradshaw, 10 touchdowns. Great from him. Defensively, Fred Warner, solid year. 9 sacks from Roman Scarborough, 7 from Azeez Ojulari, 5.5 Jimmy Kitchens, 3 for Fred Warner. Interceptions, 3 for Favors, 3 for Rodney Brown led the way. Isaiah Simmons also had 2 in there. 5th best offense as Trevor Lawrence does get some MVP votes. AFC Offensive Player of the Year, Justin Fields. Trevor Lawrence at 6. Defensive Player of the Year is Myles Garrett. Offensive Rookie of the Year is running back Josh Kendricks. Defensive Rookie of the Year is Ricky Brenner. No Jets in there because we really didn't have anyone that was eligible, as we have the Chiefs in the wild card. See if we can beat them. Not much more to it than that. We don't. All we do is lose. Love that. Love that. Oh, yeah. See, Juju's regressing now. So I'm going to give him... I'll give you 2 years. If you decline, I will franchise tag you. Welcome back. Pleasure to have you. Ooh, our running back has superstar X Factor. And he had it? Oh, what a pick that ended up being. Let me give him first one free. Okay. That's a great pick. That kind of came out of nowhere. We'll upgrade. I mean, I will upgrade elusive back. Why not? Try to get him up to a 99 overall, which should actually not even be that hard. He's only 23 years old. Backup tight end has superstar dev. Did he get it? Or did he have it? He had it. All right, well, he starts now. Okay, things are looking up. Well, he's playing fullback. Okay. I got to make some changes. Defensively, Azeez Ojulari is up to a 94 overall. He's at that age of regression, though. But for superstar development, it's pushed off a little bit. Should hit next year. Fred Warner, can't say the same for him, as he is 31 years old. He has hit that age of regression. He's only going to start going down now. So that kind of sucks. But he is still a 97 overall with that upgrade. So he is a very, very good player. Ooh, Rodney Brown went up to star dev. His face looks like he's in pain. Looks like he had terrible Botox just being stretched. It's super, super weird looking. But defensive line looks good. I mean, Zaven Collins is down to a 77 overall. He's 30 years old. What's his contract looking like? 2 years remaining. Probably a good time to trade him, honestly. All right, what's up with all these sick QBs? These are amazing quarterbacks. Picking at number 21 overall. There's some awesome QBs that dropped. They're not awesome, though. They're okay. They dropped for a reason, actually. Braden Parker, still late first round as well. Is there anyone in here who's a good value? I do have some guys on my draft board. I got to take a center here. I think Doug Pearman's the highest overall. Even though he looks the worst, he is the highest overall center. I'm taking him. 75 overall starting center. He looks pretty well-rounded. Only normal dev, but that's usually what you'll find with offensive linemen. QBs are still on the board. We're going to go with a running back, though. He is the number 13 overall player in the class, sitting with 53. 75 overall, normal dev, but we needed a backup, and he satisfies that role. Best player is Levi Carey out of Texas. Hook'em Horns, number 32 overall in the class. 80 finesse moves, 81 speed. The other guys are actually going to be maybe slightly over or higher overall than him. At least higher ranked. But they're defensive tackles. We don't really need backup D tackles so bad. Yeah, so we will let the CPU handle the rest of the draft as we move on into 2028. About halfway done. So this is the team. This is the defense. It's not amazing. This is the offense. I mean, we have some unreal playmakers. Mekhi Becton is a force to be reckoned with at left tackle, 93 overall. Starting this new tight end, 74 overall. Superstar development, so I'm in on that. Julius Wade, 6'6", 244. He looks like a beast. And then our receiving core is amazing. Just Bradshaw having normal dev makes him look a lot worse than he really is. But he should be doing really well in the absence of Juju Smith-Schuster, maybe next year or the year after. Of course, Juju is still there for right now. We're going to have Scarborough and Azeez Ojulari rushing the passer. And I think I'd like to move Kitchens to rush D tackle. Get a little bit crazy. Mid-season mark, we are 5-2. But not winning the AFC East. The Patriots are doing real well. Juju's still here. I cannot give him a long-term contract at 31 years old. Just can't do it. It's a lot of money. I'd rather have Fred Warner. I need Quinnen Williams back. Okay, so I brought back Nelly Hart, Mike Cook, Quinnen Williams, Fred Warner. Isaiah Simmons is 30 now, and he really never became good because he was playing safety and his zone coverage never got upgraded. So he's going to have to go. And then Juju, like, we could maybe afford to offer him this contract, but he's probably going to decline. I don't even have the money for that, actually. So it might be another franchise tag. I just don't really have the money to give him anymore. Snuck into the playoffs at 9-7, although did we win the division? I don't want to say we did. I don't think we did. I think the Patriots did. No, we did win the division. I should have stuck with it. I was about to say it. Trevor Lawrence throwing 30 touchdowns a year, which in real life is quite good. But it's, I mean, how many times has he thrown exactly 30? 1, 2, 3, 4, 29. He's done twice. You know, he's consistent. This is a good year. Can't complain about that. Josh Kendricks still does not average anything per carry. Receiving, Jalen Waddle, 1,200 yards, 7 touchdowns. Sean Bradshaw had 11 touchdowns from the slot. Julius Wade, the tight end, played really, really well. Juju was okay. Defensively, Matthew Favors led the team in tackles with 108, 13 for loss, 4 sacks, but 12 sacks from Azeez Ojulari led the way. Jimmy Kitchens had 9.5, Quinton Williams 9, Roman Scarborough 7. We're starting to put a lot of pressure on the quarterback. Interceptions 4 for Rodney Brown and Paris Ford led the way. And then yearly awards, we have Hunter Butler, Vikings QB, win MVP. No Trevor Lawrence. AFC Offensive Player of the Year, Lamar Jackson. No Trevor Lawrence. Defensive Player of the Year, Spencer Walford. No Jets. Offensive Rookie of the Year is Stephon Ivory, our backup running back. Defensive Rookie of the Year is Enrique Rudd. Yeah, Troy Truman at number 6. So the farthest we've made it in the playoffs is to the AFC Championship, and that's still going to remain true here as we lose in the wild card. This team cannot win games. All right, so we do see some regression. Juju is down to a 95 overall, but it's still good. I would like to franchise tag you. Not interested in signing. I'm not interested in caring. I will franchise tag Juju Smith-Schuster again because we don't need anybody else right now. Just need to go out and draft a safety. I'm sorry, Isaiah. I love Isaiah Simmons, but just didn't make sense for us to bring him back at this time. Picking at number 22 in the first round. Again, we're looking at safety. Forrest Thomas looks okay. Marco Delgado, early first round inside backer. Supposed to go in the 4th. I'm in. That's my second round pick for sure. First round tight end in the 4th. Might be my 3rd round pick. All right, round 1, pick 22. Didn't even talk about what we're doing in the first round, which could go quarterback, honestly. I know that's going to be unpopular with Trevor Lawrence, but he's an early first round guy, 22 years old. He's going to be a pretty good player in the rest of the class, so I'm thinking about it. Where are we on Trevor Lawrence's contract? 3 years remaining. I don't know, man. He's still so young. He's 29. Am I really going to play a different QB over him at any point? Azeez Ojulari went up to Superstar X Factor. Didn't even notice that. Give him Fearmonger and Edge Threat. So that's interesting. Roman Scarborough went up to Star. More like Roman Starbro. And then Rodney Brown went up to Superstar. Good for him. Strip Specialist is not what I want, though. We'll give him Flat Zone KO. I don't know. He's got 86 man. He ended up being pretty good. And we can move one of our safeties back to, or one of our corners back to safety. I mean, there's just so many good players down the board. I mean, a lot of them are late first round guys, but there are a lot of really good players. We don't really need offensive line, so I don't really want to take one of those guys. So I guess I am going Ricardo Meredith. Number 7 in the class, star better development, 75 overall. Really, really awesome pick. Clearly is not going to play right now, but if he has superstar dev or higher, even if he doesn't play right now, he might be the option in 4 years that we have to go to. Something that we're going to consider for sure. All right, going with the middle linebacker, Marco Delgado out of ASU. Looks amazing. Hopefully he is 75 overall. Number 6 in the class. Only normal development, unfortunately. But 90 speed, 87 tackle, 76 block shed, 81 hit power. Coverage isn't amazing, but he has all the makings of a star, despite not having star dev. So that kind of hurts him. But he's not going to start right away, so it's not really going to be a problem. Oh, man, we just got so lucky. The tight end is still on the board. Mike Green looks pretty good. We're going to go with the tight end, Dalton Hamilton. 72 overall, number 29 in the class. Took him at 86. Normal dev, but really good speed at 85. Decent catching in there as well. And then the rest of the players I want are off my draft board, so that kind of stings. Any first-round guys here? I don't think so. Another tight end who looks pretty good. Late second-round guy, though. Don't really want him. Adrian Covington, late second. The highest overall player still remaining is Ramon Garner out of Minnesota. Defensive tackle, 70 overall, number 43 in the class. Took at 118. Nice block shed. High strength, power moves is like 70. It's not awful, I guess, but that's going to do it for the draft. I feel like we had a really good draft. Well-rounded, got the players I wanted to. If that middle linebacker had better than star dev, that would have been amazing. Unfortunately, he didn't, but I think we did really well. This is the team, though, and it's a good team. It's a good team. I mean, our one big hole, I guess, would be at right outside linebacker. Have Levi carry there. He doesn't even look bad. He's just, you know, not amazing. Normal dev. Defensive line looks pretty solid. I'm curious to see how these guys are going to perform. Mid-season mark, we are 2-6, getting crushed. Offense doesn't appear to be bad, but also, like, not a lot of time has passed. We have the worst defense in the league. When I say not a lot of time has passed, that is not what I mean at all. I mean, we have not had our bye week yet, as other teams probably have, so those numbers could be a bit misleading. Our defense is playing about as poorly as you could imagine. Okay, we're making a change to try and get into the playoffs. I'm switching to a 4-3. 3-4 is kind of an up and down. We've either had a great defense or a really bad one, and I think it's time to make a change. Okay, so free agents. We have Roman Scarborough, Jimmy Kitchens. I don't know what to do about Juju. I think I have to let Orlando Brown Jr. walk if he's too expensive. I mean, we have money. We have a lot of money. Zaven Collins has to go. He was really underwhelming in this rebuild, man. Like, he only got to, like, what, an 84 overall? Frustrating. So pretty much everybody wants more money. Roman Scarborough wants more money. We did get Jimmy Kitchens back. I thought we got somebody else back as well. No. So just, yeah, everyone wants more money. I think Marcus Redmond would work really well at defensive tackle. 80 speed, 85 power moves. He's 318 pounds at 6'3". Juju, like, I don't really want to give him a $17 million deal. So I might just franchise tag him again. Oh, 2-game win streak. We're going off here. I need to bring these guys back. Scarborough just wanted more salary, was it? Up his bonus as well, and he is back. Who else? Marcus Redmond I liked because he wants almost no money. And he actually could be really, really good. So he's back. And Orlando Brown Jr., I think he wanted just a higher salary. It's really not too expensive. He's done developing, but it's 2 years. Juju, still kind of unsure about. We actually made the playoffs. We won the division at 9-7. Hold on. We need to go to schedule. Not that you guys would have thought I forced to win, because who cares? But we had a stretch where we lost, what, 1, 2, 3, or, well, I don't want to count the win, but I want to count the games. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I keep losing count. That's 5 games, 6, 7. Okay, so we lost 6 out of 7 games. Is that, no, that's 5. We lost, yeah, 6 out of 7. Am I okay mentally? But we pretty much won out. Lost 1 game to the Broncos. We turned it around and won the division after a 2-6 start. Trevor Lawrence with the best year of his career by a mile. Defensively, we were terrible. Trevor Lawrence, though, finally threw for over 30 touchdowns. Had almost 4,600 yards. Was 1 yard shy, 12 picks. Rushing, still don't have a running game. Receiving, Jalen Waddle over 1,200 yards, 9 touchdowns. Juju, 1,200 yards, 13 touchdowns. Julius Wade, the tight end, was really, really good as well. John Bradshaw was a good third option. Defensively, Fred Warner had a really solid year. 4 picks for him. 12 tackles for loss. 14 for Quinn Williams, led the way. And then not a whole lot of sacks. Roman Scarborough, 7.5, 5 for Quinn Williams. Azeez Ojulari had almost none, 4. Kitchens, not many. Rodney Brown, 5. Fred Warner, 4. Nelly Hart had 4. Bunch of defensive touchdowns in there as well. Rodney Brown and Nelly Hart. I got to go back to a 3-4. The 4-3 just isn't working lately, as Trevor Lawrence finishes at number 2 for MVP. Tua Tagovailoa is on the Raiders now. Jordan Love on the Titans. That's wild. Dak is on the Rams. AFC Offensive Player of the Year is Trevor Lawrence. Defensive Player of the Year is Myles Garrett. Fred Warner at number 2. Offensive Rookie of the Year, Reggie Lincoln. Dalton Hamilton at 3. And then Defensive Rookie of the Year is Jose Casey. Why can I not speak? God. Marco Delgado is up to an 80 overall. Finished in there. But once again, it's the Chiefs in the wild card, and they beat us so many times. And I don't know why my running back sucks. He's so good, but he's also terrible. It's because he wears a number in the 40s. Got to be. You ever heard of Alvin Kamara? Yeah, I have. It's a decent team. Would love for Delgado to get up to star dev. As we'll lose to the Chiefs in the wild card, I'm sure. Reverse jinx. We got it. 38-35 with the win. And we got the Jags. They win 10-6. 1 game away from the AFC Championship. Lost by 2. Devastating again. All right, show me some dev trade upgrades. 96 overall offense is ridiculous. Trevor Lawrence is finally a superstar X Factor after winning Offensive Player of the Year. It only took him till his age, what, 30 season? Took him long enough. That's for sure. No changes to report defensively. But I think we got to go to a 3-4. I don't know. It seems to be the only formation we can really have success in. As Juju is 33 years old. It's going to be a franchise tag. It's going to be a franchise tag. We have money. We don't need to franchise tag him. But in order to keep him for one more year, it makes sense to franchise tag him. I don't know how we have so much money out of nowhere. Like, we have so much money. I can't tell you what happened. I haven't noticed anyone just retiring out of nowhere. We have 23 million cap room after a franchise tag. George Kittle would be interesting. Jair Alexander would be a big ad. But what about Denzel Ward? I don't think we've ever had him in a rebuild before. And that has now changed because Denzel Ward has signed a contract to become a New York Jet. We'll check out the defense. Harris Ford is down to a 79 overall as he's 31 years old. Still not terrible looking though, but what an addition to our secondary. Denzel Ward, he is 33, but still should be very good this year. His coverage really actually isn't all that great. It's awareness and play rec that are boosting his overall a lot. But it's still a really good looking team. I just think we have to transition back to a 3-4. It's the only real situation we've seen success with. What do I really need in the draft? It has to be something defensively, right? Has to be. Our offense, oh, that's where our money went. Orlando Brown Jr. retired. Defensively, though, I mean, it could be a linebacker. Favors is trying to play multiple positions. Not going to happen. D-line looks pretty good. Quinnen Williams is regressing pretty hard. He's 32. It's to be expected. But I think safety's also an option with Paris Ford regressing. It might just be like best defensive player available. And we can get versatile and creative with where we use them. Here we are at number 25 overall in the first round. Some good running backs available as there always seem to be, but we certainly don't need one of those. Decent free safety, Nelson Collins. Not going to be anything crazy. The only player on my draft board right now is a center. But I think it's actually going to be the best move for us as we need help on the offensive line. Someone can slide over to play right tackle. Cameron Hogan, welcome to the team. You're going to play center. Not really a great draft class. At least there's not great depth down the board. I'm going to let the CPU handle the rest. This is the team for 2029. And of course, when we get to 2030, I will be simulating a few years in the future, usually about 5 to 7, and then rebuilding the team from there as we see how the CPU handles the roster over time. That's always fun to do because then it's like the rebuild is kind of revived. We've been in a rhythm. It shakes things up, gives me a bit of a challenge, but that's not happening right now. It's happening at the end of the season because I still want to win a championship with this team. Is it going to happen? Seems unlikely, but it is possible. I also want to see the development trade on that quarterback. I never checked. It was probably just star. I think I would have noticed it was better, or if it was better, it is star. But yeah, that's the team. You've seen it. You know it well. We will simulate to the midseason mark and see how things are going. 5-2 at the midseason mark, but the Dolphins sit atop the division at 6-1. Patriots are real close behind at 5-3. Who is going to be free agent for us? Is that Jalen Waddle? It is Jalen Waddle. Mekhi Becton, Juju, Josh Kendricks, our running back, Carl James, who would move to right tackle. The tight end, Elijah Vera Tucker. Oh my goodness, so many free agents. We do have a lot of money to bring these guys back, though. Mekhi Becton, keep him for 5 years. Big running back contract. Josh Kendricks can honestly stick around for 6. He's back. Carl James, we got to pay him tackle money now, so that kind of sucks, but he is worth it, and he is back. Julius Wade, we need our tight end. Always important to keep a tight end. Julius Wade is back. We're just giving out long-term contracts like it's nothing. But we need these guys. Don't want to sign them for too long. Elijah Vera Tucker wants more money. Well, here's the problem. We do not have it. 11-5, another wild card. Dolphins went 12-4. Second best offense. Trevor Lawrence with his best year, I think you should say. And our defense was rated the same. Lawrence, 4,400 yards, 39 touchdowns, 9 picks. If you look at guys like Drew Brees, check out his prime. Happened in his 30s. Looks like Trevor Lawrence is trending towards the same direction. He is so amazing right now. It's only a matter of time. Josh Kendricks averaged 4 yards per carry, 12 touchdowns. But it's not about the average, as he got over 1,000 yards. That is about the average. Jaylen Waddle went off, though. 1,652 yards, 17 touchdowns on 108 catches. Juju was pretty good. Julius Wade was pretty good. Sean Bradshaw didn't do a whole lot. Defensively, Fred Warner had 4.5 sacks, 2 interceptions. Quinn Williams, 12 tackles for loss, led the team. But look at sacks. 13 from Azeez Ojulari. 13 from Jimmy Kitchens. Roman Scarborough had 9. 4.5 for Warner, 4.5 for Favors. So our front 7 really playing pretty well. Quinn Williams only had 4. Interceptions, though, 3 for Mike Cook, Rodney Brown, and Denzel Ward. 2 for Fred Warner and Marco Delgado. Remember, our middle linebacker we drafted is Trevor Lawrence wins MVP. Well-deserved. AFC Offensive Player of the Year is also Trevor Lawrence. Defensive Player of the Year, Dexter Warner for the Browns. Fred Warner at number 8. Maybe they're related. Offensive Rookie of the Year is Lance Farley. Quincy Davis at 4. Sure. Defensive Rookie of the Year is Jameel May. Not to be confused with stud linebacker Jameel McClain. But we've not been all too successful in the playoffs so far. Hopefully that changes. Like Joe Namath, we're making the guarantee, and we beat the Colts in the playoffs. This time it wasn't the NFL championship game. In what, Super Bowl III? We have our nemesis in the divisional. It's the Chiefs. They've been a really tough team, and that continues. We lose by 2. Oh, the Chiefs, man. Every time we play them, we lose. All right, Juju Smith-Schuster is down to an 86 overall. I'm fine to let him go. Not that we can afford him anyway. And Elijah Vera-Tucker, we also cannot afford. So everybody here, including Matthew Favors, former first-round draft pick, Braid Mann, who's been our punter for several years, they just have to go. We don't have the money. But this is the time where we turn everything on to auto and let the CPU rock with it. We're going to simulate several years into the future and see what this team has done. Making a quick pit stop in 2033. The team is still quite good because we put pieces in place for them to be successful over time. Jaylen Waddle is down to a 92 overall, but is still very, very good. Trevor Lawrence, 99. Look at Kendricks, though. Up to a 96 overall. Josh Kendricks. And even our tight end, Julius Wade, 27 years old. He got up to Superstar X Factor. Don't know when that would have happened, but he looks very, very good. Offensive line has gotten a little bit worse, but we still have solid bookends at left and right tackle in Mekhi Becton. And what is his name? Yeah, Carl James. He's still good for the time being. Sean Bradshaw has been about an 85 overall for a long time. He's 30 now. And they drafted a young receiver, Callum Mercer, star dev out of Florida. Looks to be pretty good. Did he get up to star, or did he have that? Let's see here. Did get star dev after the season, so they probably played him in the slot. And then defensively, Roman Scarborough up to superstar dev. Only problem is he is 29 now. Azeez Ojulari is 33, down to an 85 overall. And where is our middle linebacker? They didn't re-sign him? They didn't bring him back? You guys remember, what was his name? Ricardo something, maybe? I don't remember. Kitchens is an 88. I mean, they're the same age. Kitchens and Scarborough were the same draft class. Our defensive tackle doesn't even have a face. Lucas Perry. And he doesn't do anything well. Actually, was he a finesse rusher? Yeah, 81 finesse moves. Okay, never mind. Might have something there. Oh, no. We won an AFC championship, but lost the Super Bowl. That's what we missed over the years. We're going to jump ahead again into the future and catch back up. Oh, no. Jaylen Waddle retired. That's sad. I mean, I'm sure he probably retired. Callum Mercer, though, is up to superstar dev. Not exactly a Jaylen Waddle replacement, but that's what he's going to have to be. Trevor Lawrence down to a 98 overall as he's regressing a little bit. But guess what? He won quarterback of the year, won offensive player of the year a year later. Trevor Lawrence is still quite good. Had 39 touchdowns, 16 picks last year. But in 2032, 42 touchdowns, only 11 picks, passed for 500 yards. 4,500 yards. Awards. Trevor Lawrence is starting to heat up. 2032 best QB, 2033 best QB, 2030 MVP, 2032 MVP. He's won Offensive Player of the Year 3 out of the last 4 years. Only a 3-time Pro Bowler, but he's won MVP almost as many times. Wild from Trevor Lawrence, but we will simulate again. Catch back up with you guys. 2037 is where we pick back up, and the team is still pretty good. 84 overall, and Trevor Lawrence is still our quarterback. Callum Mercer is a 94 overall now at 28 years old. And they got this new guy, Miles Macklin, superstar X-Factor receiver out of Kansas State. Made the Pro Bowl in just his first year. He's a slot guy. That's all he is. But he is a superstar X-Factor 23-year-old receiver. Kendricks is a 93 overall. He is 33 though. But look at this. Trevor Lawrence at 38 years old is still playing up to a 95 overall. Still is amazing. We'll see what he did over time. I think that's all Jets fans, including myself, care about, although I'm not a Jets fan, so whatever. I don't know why his numbers were so weird in 2035 and 2036. It's almost like he missed games, but he didn't. We just passed less, slightly, but he just really just didn't have the TD numbers or the yards. I guess regressions start to hit a little bit, but won 2032 MVP, 2034 best QB. I think that's where he left off. Made another Pro Bowl. Julius Wade, 96 overall superstar X-Factor tight end at 32 years old. What's the defense looking like, though? Oh, Kitchens up to superstar dev, even though he's super old at this point, 33 years old. Scarborough, superstar X-Factor, even though he's 34, still really, really good. Azeez Ojulari is clearly retired. Carey's up to star dev. He was actually on the team before. But there are a lot of holes. If we were drafting, which we're going to, we're going to pick back up. And Perry, the no name, no face. He's got a name, but no face. The faceless Lucas Perry, 87 overall star dev. We need a safety, a linebacker, a cornerback on defense. And then offensively, it's offensive line. Mekhi Becton retired. The entire offensive line, with the exception of right guard, though, is not good. And Cameron Hogan, one of the last guys we drafted, is actually an 86 overall. Only normal development, though, unfortunately. But this team missed the playoffs at 8-8. Need to be a little bit better, as we will pick back up in the offseason. Oh, I got to remember to turn off auto stuff. 2037 retirement. Jordan Love is gone. What team am I doing? I'm doing the Jets. So AFC East. We'll just go down to the Jets, though. Nobody retired. So we're in a really good spot. I don't have resign on auto. Why do I not get an option to resign, guys? I mean, I really don't have any idea. I can sign free agents, though. It just didn't let me re-sign anybody. Bunch of really old guys. That's kind of what happens long-term in free agency. It's just free agency's only guys who are 33 plus, pretty much, which is super frustrating. Trevor Lawrence is down to a 92 at 38 years old. Hendricks down to an 88. Macklin hopefully going up. And then defensively, Roman Scarborough and was it Jimmy Kitchens? Yeah. Both regressing kind of a lot. We need safeties badly. And look at Mitchell, though. Reggie Mitchell up to superstar dev. When did that happen? Super Bowl week. I knew he didn't have that. So we could make some splashes in free agency. Should have a lot of money. Also, wouldn't be unwise to draft a QB at some point. In free agency, I didn't get either of the players I wanted. So that sucks. But we are going to the draft. I overpaid and still didn't get them. Gotta love when that happens. 2038 NFL draft, picking at number 16 overall. Carlos Shivers. Gives QBs shivers. Or makes them shiver. Sounds a little bit better. At number 16 overall, Packers just got a stud D tackle. And what do I want to do? A couple guys on my draft board, but nobody, like, right now worth taking. We'll go Jaylen Richardson out of Colorado. 74 overall, number 14 in the class. Took him at 16. Only normal development. He's okay. Nothing special. Second round, though. Do I just go with a receiver? Yeah, Michael Little. 73 overall. Also normal development. Number 18 in the class. Took him at 48. Good speed. Another slot guy. We'll have the CPU handle the rest of the draft. Maybe they'll get a stud or two, but they won't. I have 61,000 coach XP, and I really just can't even spend it on anything. It's kind of where we are at this point. It's 2038. All right, update. I have every single package in the game for the coach. There's literally nothing. Even the kicker and punter stuff, I have it all. So that's where we are. 2038, simulating to the playoffs. Give me a good run, Trevor Lawrence. Go out on top. Super Bowl. First round bye. 14-2 for the Jets. Sixth best offense. We've seen higher, but the defense got to be really good. First defense. Trevor Lawrence, almost 4,000 yards, 34 touchdowns, 11 picks. Rushing, Josh Kendricks, over 1,000 yards, 6 touchdowns. Receiving, Miles Macklin in the slot. God. Did really, really well. Superstar X Factor. I'm going to give him upgrades to deep threat to kind of boost where he's not very good. So some big upgrades there. Nice to see. Callum Mercer only had 1 touchdown. Mercer had 1 TD on 68 catches. Julius Wade, only 60 catches, but 10 touchdowns. Defensively, Bryce Rutherford led our team in tackles. Tackles for loss, 11 from Roman Scarborough. Oh my goodness, career renaissance for our DNs. 19.5 sacks for Jimmy Kitchens. Wow, that came out of nowhere. Jimmy Kitchens actually did it, really? I mean, he had 1 crazy year for us in 2030. But look at this over the past 5 years. 19.5 sacks, 13.5, 16.5, 11, 13. Jimmy Kitchens kind of been balling out. So good for him. And then Roman Scarborough with 15.5. Like, he's been really good for a long time. He's had so many years of double-digit or near double-digit sacks. So it's nice to see him performing. That's awesome. 4 picks for Reggie Mitchell led the way. 4 for Adrian Baskerville and 4 for Luke Fitzsimmons. Yearly awards, Archie Perkins wins MVP. Lawrence at number 6. AFC Offensive Player of the Year is Archer Perkins, not Archie. Trevor Lawrence at 3. Defensive Player of the Year is Corey Arsenault. Jimmy Kitchens at 3 with 19.5 sacks. Offensive Rookie of the Year, Vince Banks. Defensive Rookie of the Year is Braxton Woodard. Jaylen Richardson at number 4. Best QB, Ty Sellers. How does it not go to Archer Perkins? I'm shocked at that. We got a first round bye. Will we finally win a Super Bowl in 2038? Long overdue. I would love to. Oh my goodness. In Sim, we went to another AFC championship. Still did not win the Super Bowl. 0 for 2 in the Super Bowl. Both happened in Sim, but can we beat the Broncos in the divisional? Nope. 31-24. This team is a huge disappointment every single year. Trevor Lawrence is going to be a free agent, but it looks like he's intent on still playing. I'll give him a 3-year contract. He's going to test free agency? You're not. 37.3 mil to keep him. Oh my goodness. Reggie Mitchell had a good year last year. He is 30. He's regressing. He's going to test free agency. Well, we can't bring him back. Jimmy Kitchens down to a 76. No. And you know what? Other than Jimmy Kitchens, who just had a crazy year, I think that the other stud defensive end for us retired. Roman Scarborough retires. Hate to see it. We have 90 mil to spend in free agency, though, if I want to. But all the players are just so old. We got both the top free agents in Starkey and Claxton to boost and bolster our defense. Got to find spots for them. Trevor Lawrence is just still hanging out. He'll be an 88 overall at age 39. Still pretty good. Macklin is approaching the 90s. And then defensively, we got to get some middle linebackers. We got to do something. Starkey is a pass rusher. He's going to actually be great at left outside linebacker. Can Bradford slide inside? He's a speed rusher type. So no. But Bradford's going to go down and play right end. You see all the normal dev on this team, by the way? Would you like to guess why? It's because every single player in a draft class has normal development, and they just don't develop. Look at our defense. We signed 2 guys who had better than normal. All the rest have normal. Perry was on the team, and Baskerville, I think, got upgraded. And he's 27 years old, going into his 4th season. A little old, but NFL draft time, we need a middle linebacker. That's our biggest need right now. Will one even be available with this pick? We'll have to see. Oh, Quentin Woods looks pretty good. That might end up being my pick. Donald Wall. We've taken a guy with the last name Wall before. I don't think he worked out too well. The middle linebackers are terrible. Like, they're so bad. So it looks like we're probably going with a defensive end in Quentin Woods, but he's the best player available by a lot. So I'm not even, well, this center actually looks great as well, but we can just take that one. QBs are bad too, but welcome to the team. Quentin Woods, 76 overall, number 5 in the class. Took him at 28. Obviously normal development, 78 speed, 85 power moves. Really solid player. Just will never develop because he came out with normal. We got a cornerback here in the second, Brian Jackson, 72 overall, number 30 in the class. Took him at number 60. Only normal development. Doesn't cover it all. His coverage skills are terrible. And that will be the end of the draft here in 2039. Can we go out and make a splash trade for a middle linebacker? It is possible. Backup running back on the move, maybe? Nah, he'd be good to have. We could trade one of these receivers we don't need, that's for sure. Look at this. Guy I tried to draft years ago. Well, I don't know if we even talked about him, but he was a really good player. He was like 76 overall, only went to the Bucks. 92 overall now. I'm not sure if I even showed him, though, so I guess that... There's no storyline there for y'all. And Christian Perry was actually in the same draft class. He's 31 now. I really wanted him as well, but couldn't make a move up inside the top 10 to get him. And he is amazing. Can I make a trade for him now? Yes! Kai McRae and Wilson. Get me Perry. Welcome to the squad. Stud middle linebacker. Welcome to the team. Still so many holes on this team, but that's going to help out at least a little bit. I mean, yeah, Christian Perry is absolutely ridiculous. 91 speed, 88 zone coverage, 90 block shed, 94 tackle, 89 hit power. What a monster. We're going to simulate to the end of 2039, though. Second to last season. Let's make it happen. 9-7, but made the playoffs, won the division, although the offense was not that great. Trevor Lawrence, though, only threw 4 interceptions. He's still playing at a pretty high level. Josh Kendricks is not. He's had such an up and down career, averaged less than 46 yards per game. Receiving, Miles Macklin, though, 1,200 yards, also 9 touchdowns as he jumps into the 90s. He's in just his 3rd season. He will be a guaranteed 99 overall. Maybe we'll see that next year. And then Christian Perry had a very, very solid year for us. But look at the D-line get pressure. 11.5 sacks for Percy Claxton. Free agent pickup. Another free agent pickup. Zachary Starkey, 10.5 sacks. Lucas Perry, still no face on him. The 10 sacks. That's why they can't block him. They can't even see him. Trevor Lawrence at number 7 for MVP. AFC Offensive Player of the Year is Trevor Lawrence. Defensive Player of the Year is Evan Jones. Christian Perry at number 2, we just traded for, of course. Offensive Rookie of the Year, Greg Herbert. Justin Herbert's son, wow. Defensive Rookie of the Year, Will Harris. Brian Jackson at 2. Paul Stanton at 4. Can we beat the Chiefs in the wild card, though? We haven't been able to all series. Finally, we do. I say all series, all video. Man, I am losing it. I've been recording for a long time. Brain, no work anymore. And we lose again. We cannot even make it to the AFC Conference Championship when I'm actually simming game by game. This is so frustrating. Final season to make some noise. Can we win the Super Bowl in the final year? You got to smash that subscription button if we do. But in order to do that, we're going to need to make the team. We're going to need to make the team a little bit better. And Trevor Lawrence is still trying to play at age 40. All right, come on back, Trevor. 2-year deal. Test free agency? Well, you can't. Got to get franchise tag. Lucas Perry up to superstar dev. There you go. Got everyone back that we needed to. Still have some money in free agency so we can bring in some surefire difference makers if there are any available. Hopefully there are. We have 51 mil. Show me some 90s. There's a D tackle. There's 2. Would rather have Amari Beverly, I think. Just because he's a bit younger. How do we do? Got everyone I went after. All defenders, by the way. Tell me Trevor Lawrence didn't retire after we re-signed him. Nope. 86 overall. 40 years old. I need to check the all-time leaderboards and see where Trevor Lawrence is. Where do we need to upgrade Miles Macklin? It's going to be deep threat. But I need to see where Trevor Lawrence is for all-time records. He's got to be near the top of the league just because he's played for so long and he's been so good for so long. He's never been amazing. And I say that he's won a couple of MVPs. Like, let's not get too crazy. Let's see his all-time numbers. Over 78,000 passing yards and 600 touchdowns for Trevor Lawrence. Now, for perspective, that puts Trevor Lawrence third all-time in passing yards and third all-time in passing touchdowns. So Trevor Lawrence has been really, really good. He's played forever. If you check out quarterback, Trevor Lawrence is in the top 10 all-time for legacy. Of course, the MVPs have really held him back in winning no Super Bowls. But he has been solid. He really has been. Won 2039 Offensive Player of the Year. So he's played at a high level for a really long time. Trevor Lawrence has been amazing. Just hasn't done the one thing that he came here to do, which was win a Super Bowl. But I think we can do it this year. I really do. The team's going to be good. They're playing well. It's just got to win 1 or 2 more games in the playoffs. Need offensive line help. Another upgrade to the team came on the offensive line in the form of Lockley here. And he will go ahead and play. I mean, we could really play him anywhere, but he's a right guard. We're going to play him at left guard. Almost said left tackle. Dude, I don't know if you guys, most of you probably don't even care. Oh, I would say 99% of you. But I feel like I'm just so used to speaking so clearly and well that when I've been making so many mistakes recently, it just feels so disheartening because I know what I want to say and my mouth just isn't making the correct sounds, I suppose. I don't know what's going on, but it feels like I'm having early onset dementia or something because I'm forgetful. I mean, I'll go to check out what team I'm doing in a rebuild. That's a problem. And clearly I can't speak. I don't even know what that would be. Not ideal. That's what it is. So we need 2 tackle spots. We need a center. We need a running back, maybe. And then defensively, I think our defense is pretty good. The faceless Perry has moved over to left end. Our front 7 looks awesome. We went from all normal to all superstar or higher, which is wild. Corner and safety aren't great, but not terrible. The biggest need on this team right now is addressing the offensive line in a monster way. 2040, it's the final season. I'm not going to trade up and trade future picks. We're just going to work with what we have and take the best players available that can help us out. Early first round running back. It's tempting. Quarterback in here. We need a successor to Trevor Lawrence, but I mean, I've told you guys this last year. This is a early first round receiver. Sick. This is a 20-year rebuild, right? We're not doing another season after this, so there's no reason to take a quarterback. So we have a really good running back here, Damian Minor. But I know it's important to never do anything with a minor, so I'm worried about drafting him. I don't know what I want to do for the team. Offensive line's in a weird spot, clearly. We can always trade for pieces on the O-line. I think the running back is just the best player. And now I feel like so weird for making a joke and then maybe drafting him anyway. But it's also spelled M-I-N-E-R. So maybe he works in a coal mine. 77 overall. Only normal development. Not great for a multitude of reasons with that last 30 seconds. Receiver's still available. Could take a center. We're taking Deion Baggs. Number 8 in the class. Normal dev. What did you expect? But 75 overall. Really good pick for the spot, but also normal development. Everyone off by draft board way sooner than they should have gone. Love to see that. I'm trading this pick for an offensive lineman. Who's the best guard I can get? Because they're mine now. Trading for an 87 overall guard. He's going to play left tackle. It's way more valuable to trade my picks for a really good offensive lineman rather than just take random 69 overall players, as nice as that would be. So part of the reason that normal development is such a problem, especially for offensive linemen, our left guard that we have that we moved to left tackle in Lonnie Wilbon, he is the highest overall guard in the league, or was at 87 overall. The next highest, and this is at either left guard or right guard, is an 83 overall. That's a problem. That's a big problem. How is that not an issue with development at all? Tell me. But the team does look pretty good. We do have some holes, but our front 7's amazing, and the entire defensive scheme is designed around putting pressure on the quarterback. I got to change some things around. But I think we're going to be really, really effective still. I mean, we have like amazing playmakers on offense. We have an amazing front 7. I think we're going to be really good. Oh, just kidding. Didn't make the playoffs. 6-10. 6th best offense in the league. What about defense? 31st. That'll do it. That'll do it. But that's pretty much going to be the rebuild. Never won the Super Bowl in 20 seasons. There's really no explanation for it because usually we compete for a Super Bowl, oftentimes win a Super Bowl in a 4 or 5 year rebuild, and this time we had 20 years and didn't do it once. And we had some really, really good teams as well. I'm not sure what happened, but that's going to do it for the video, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for subscribing. The support on the channel has been crazy lately, pushing towards 250K. So I appreciate every single one of you guys. I think I said almost at the start, but no, every one of you guys, hater or not. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Take it easy. Jesus, my elbow. I'm a psycho.
I hit it at the park, bend bones. See me high step to the end zone. My life like a game, Nintendo. Playing with the best, let them know. Get off the track, the train's coming through. Yeah, promise you get in my way, then you best believe I'ma just run over you. Yeah, yeah. Pump and turn, taking it back to the house. Defensive joke, I'm laughing so loud. Speed burst good.